I'm Brian. It's really loud. And I'm hearing myself on delay. I just heard myself. It's getting the feedback. It's getting fed back. We're not in the new studio, guys. I'm in the new building. This is the old studio in the new building. The new studio's right here, but it's not quite ready yet. What do you want me to do? Because I heard myself on delay. Want me to try?
Yeah.
Welcome to the program, everyone. I'm Brian. I can't hear myself in headphones. It's on delay. There's no way.
Try now.
All right. Happy Monday morning to everyone. No. No. It's dead air now. Just play a spot.
Yes.
But see, the delay.
Hey, we're hearing the delay from.
You're not bringing up the Boca show. You're doing everything live from West Palm Beach.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're bringing it up from down south.
Don't bring it up from down south. You're doing everything live from there now, Mike.
All right, so try.
So you're using the automation system there in West Palm Beach.
Yeah.
And Brian is gonna. You have to put the microphone on in that studio for Brian to talk.
Okay.
Boca doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, so we turned off the Boca.
You're doing everything out of West Palm Beach.
Okay, so I turned off the Boca studio. I'll keep the TOC.
Yeah, I'm not hearing anything in the headphones.
You're running everything out of that board there.
Okay, yeah. So when he turned on the mic, it was feedback. He could hear him.
It's on delay.
It was on delay.
I think we're getting it from down south. But now I'm hearing Scott Shannon's spot.
Yeah, I stopped after here, so try it.
Okay.
Because he can hear himself when he talks. Like, it's on the delay. Like, I turned off the Boca thing and everything. I just have his mic on now with the TOC mix.
On his headphones, what does it say on his headphones? On the
Oh.
box that his
Okay, we're here.
into, what does it say?
Program.
Maybe that.
That's control room.
Oh, yeah.
These are the headphones.
Yeah, so this should be.
It's in program.
Okay, so you're going to hear yourself talking when you talk.
Hit it and put it back. Program?
What do you want to hear when you talk?
Myself. Yeah.
Itself, yeah. Without.
So that's it. So you should be.
All right. We are live.
Alright, gotcha. No.
Still on delay.
Yeah, it's playing it back every time.
All right.
Yeah, I just heard it.
His
You're feeding something into it.
So does it say where is his headphone jack plugged into?
On the board,
the bottom of the board, where like
the farthest pot to the right,
farthest
where the
pot to the
headphone
right.
volume is. It's in program.
On the
I think you're feeding the mic mix minus into it, maybe.
what's plugged into the right part of the board where the headphone jack volume is?
yeah, he
What light is lit up there?
X1.
Okay, so put that in program.
All right.
Got it. All right, we're good to go. All right, welcome to the program, everyone. It is Monday morning, and we are live. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977, celebrating 45 years on the radio this year. Soon to change that in just a few weeks to 46 years. Well, welcome to the program, everyone, and I am at the corporate headquarters here. I'm not in our new studio. I'm in a studio that is new to me, but this is the old studio in the new building, and the new studio is right next to the old studio in the new building where I'm at now. So we are here live on this Monday morning, and it may be a little bit rough, guys. You got to bear with me because it's the first time I've been here using all this cool stuff here, as opposed to where we've been at all this time. Well, listen, there's a lot going on. There's a lot to talk about, and we're going to cover a lot of issues today, and we're also going to take your calls, and even though we're in a new place, our phone number is the same, 1-888-GO-KANE, 1-888-465-2631. And there's a lot to talk about, but I'm first going to talk about the Twitter files, because the Twitter files is the biggest, without question. I mean, I've been thinking about this all weekend. The Twitter files is the biggest media scandal in the history of media. There's never been a scandal involving the media, since there's been an American media at least, that even come close to what was revealed in the Twitter files. And in fact, it's such a huge scandal that the media are not even reporting on it. And they're trying to tell you it's a non-story that shouldn't be covered, that doesn't need to be covered. And you're not going to find too much discussion on the mainstream media involving the Twitter files, but that's okay. We are going to cover it here. Now, so far as this not being a media story, because a lot of people will tell you that it's not a media story, but Twitter is a social media platform, right? It has media in the title. So social media is a form of media. And this scandal, the more that it is out there, the Twitter files, and the more people go into it and look over everything that was communicated, and I'll go through some of it on the program today, and I know a lot of you guys have looked into it as well. As we go through the Twitter files, what you're going to find is not only is this a media scandal, but this is a White House scandal, because the Joe Biden campaign was, well, they weren't even being sneaky about it. They were one-on-one communicating with high-level officials at Twitter to banish communications and discussions that they didn't want people to know about. So listen, we're going to take our first break. When we come back, I'm going to get into the story, and we'll open up the phones. I do want to keep it, at least here in the beginning of the show, focused in on the Twitter files and where this is going to go. As the show goes on, we're going to jump into a whole bunch of other issues as well, but this is the one we're going to start with today. Our number is toll-free, 1-888-GIVE-KANE 1, 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. We're in a new studio. We're in an old studio in the new building, and I'm looking at the new studio, which looks like, I don't know, the most high-tech studio in New York City, which I'll be broadcasting from in a couple of days, and I can't wait for that. We'll take our break. We'll be back. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. Okay. Yeah, this is, you guys on YouTube, this is the control room that I'm broadcasting from. The studio's over there, but it's not. I'll when everything's set up, I'll show you guys everything. But it's a little awkward because we moved like 3 or 4 times before we went on the air this morning, and then we went on the air and nothing was working. So we're a little off today, but that's okay. That's to be expected.
So that first commercial breaks a tiny bit shorter, but
That's okay. I'll hear it come back. I don't need to know the time.
gotcha. So used to, because I did this morning show with Bert.
Yeah, well, we don't have to worry about him today, so.
Yeah. So we're just riding straight through.
Yeah.
Vic said he's on his way. Just gonna make sure we're settled, because Mike's supposed to be here.
Oh, that's fine. We got everything.
Yeah.
We're good to go. Yeah, we set up in here, then we set up in there, then we set up here, we set up there, then we had to do the show from in here today.
But one does. At Champagne Automotive Repair in Boca. We'll never do a repair on your vehicle, but your vehicle does it.
65 degrees in Coral Springs. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it was a little chilly this morning.
Even hybrids. Champagne Automotive Repair is the official mechanic of the Steve Kane Show.
Welcome, everyone.
561-245-8101. 561-245-8101. Make sure you tell him you heard about him on the Steve Kane Show.
On the air since 1977. It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. It's really loud. Which pod is this? This one? Yeah, I'll turn it down. All right, and of course we're here weekday mornings. Okay, so the Twitter files. Now before I get into the details of the Twitter files, I got to get a couple things out of the way right out of the box, okay? I have been contacted over the weekend by so many people that have told me the same thing over and over. There's nothing new here in the Twitter files. These are all things that we've already known about. Well, is partially true. You know, we knew that Twitter covered up the Hunter Biden laptop story. We knew they colluded with the Democrats. We knew they were colluding with the Biden campaign. We knew that they suppressed people who, and even actually suspended people from their accounts, et cetera, for tweeting the New York Post story about the Twitter files. But what we had before was some anecdotal evidence and theories, right? And what the Twitter files are is evidence that Elon Musk has released to the world. And it's actually quite amazing if you think about it. You know, and what I mean by that is that if, okay, give you an example, okay? This Idaho murder with all these college kids. Eventually, if these clowns that call themselves cops in Idaho get their act together, they're going to arrest someone and they're going to charge them with murder a few times over. Well, that doesn't mean that they just end up in jail and we know everything. There's going to be a court case. There's going to be an investigation. Evidence will be presented, and then we'll prove beyond a reasonable doubt that this guy, I'm sure it was a guy, at least one, maybe multiple, but then we'll be able to prove that they committed the murder. You need evidence. Same thing goes for the Twitter files. So anyone out there who tells you, well, you know, these are things we already knew, there's nothing new here, they're part of the cover-up of the story, just like the New York Times and the Washington Post and all of these other outlets that are not reporting the story. You're part of the cover-up. Maybe you don't know you're part of the cover-up, but you are part of the cover-up, okay? The other thing is this, and this is something that you're going to have to accept, and you know, a lot of people are going to be talking about this in conservative media today, and they probably are not going to tell you what I'm going to tell you, but I'm going to tell you going right out of the box. The chances of anyone going to prison, anyone going to jail over the Twitter files is slim to none, all right? I'm not 100% sure there was an actual crime. I mean, obviously there's journalistic malpractice, there's a moral crime and all of that, but I'm talking about like an actual crime that you could prosecute and send someone to prison for, maybe. But people at this level rarely go to prison. So what we got is some concrete evidence, but a little of it's vague. And the part of the Twitter files that's vague is who, the names, who in the Biden campaign were contacting Twitter and saying, take this tweet down, ban that person, suspend this person. We haven't seen the names from the Biden campaign yet. Okay, we've seen some names from people that work at Twitter, but we haven't seen who from the Biden campaign was doing the communication. And we don't even know if it was through email or phone or, you know, text messaging, how they were communicating. But what is going to happen, you know, come January 3rd, the Republicans take over the House of Representatives. And when that happens, there are going to be some of the most exciting, maybe the most exciting hearings in the House of Representatives ever. They're going to rival the Watergate hearings. It's going to be much more exciting because this is more scandalous and there's a lot more people involved in it. In the Watergate era, it was a handful of people, and it didn't even come close to being as serious as everything that's been revealed in the Twitter files. And what we're going to find is that those inside the Biden campaign that were communicating with Twitter and saying, remove this, remove that, suspend this person, et cetera, a lot of these people are going to be famous household names like Jen Psaki. I'm expecting Jen Psaki to be right at the forefront of this entire thing. And it wouldn't surprise me if she was behind the vast majority of it. And you're going to find other people that either work at the White House now under Biden or have worked in the Biden White House and have since left, like Jen Psaki, who were involved in this. Now, another thing about impeachment, because you know, everybody wants to impeach people all the time. You know, this started with Bill Clinton in 1998. And the thing about impeaching, you cannot impeach. I know this seems very bizarre, but listen, the people in Washington make the laws, and they make the laws to benefit themselves. I don't believe you can impeach someone for crimes they committed prior to being in office, right? So what we've seen in the Twitter files right now, as wrong as it is and everything that's involved in it, was all before the election. Now, Elon Musk says there's a lot more to come. There's a lot more to come, and this is only the beginning. And I was a part of this amazing, really the largest town hall possibly in the history of the planet. Was Saturday night. Elon Musk did a Twitter Spaces town hall where he not only talked about the Twitter files in detail, took questions from a lot of people about it, and gave a lot of information that we didn't know before. But one of the things that Elon Musk was asked by someone, I can't remember who asked him this, and this was actually just an amazing question. What kind of coordination did the Biden White House have with Twitter after the election? See, after the election, we are in impeachment territory and possibly even criminal territory. Now, there has been a history of officials in government and inside White Houses silencing stories. The biggest story that I know of personally that was silenced by the White House was the Monica Lewinsky story with Bill Clinton. The Monica Lewinsky story that she had a very long affair, it was sexual in nature, with the President of the United States. That was a huge story, huge story. And a team of investigative journalists at Newsweek magazine uncovered, broke the story, wrote the story, and Newsweek, it's been so long, it was a magazine, and at the time, Newsweek was one of the most credible political publications in America. It was like must read. I used to read Newsweek magazine every week. It was like you couldn't do this job without reading Newsweek. So Newsweek had the whole story in detail with interviews and sourced information that the President of the United States was having a sexual relationship with a 21-year-old intern. Now, that may not sound like a big deal now because you've all known about it for so long. But back in the 90s, it was huge. It was a big story. So the Clintons got wind of this story before Newsweek went to print, and they killed the story. They got Newsweek to not report the story. And they didn't do it. And the reporters were beyond furious about it, and they gave their entire story to Matt Drudge at the Drudge Report. And that's what made the Drudge Report famous, all right? He had some other stories before. They're mostly entertainment out of Hollywood, nothing that important. And I remember that day so well, like it was yesterday. The Drudge Report story, the original story that Drudge had in the original headline wasn't about the President of the United States as having an affair with a 21-year-old intern. It was more scandalous than even that. It was Newsweek magazine covered up a story of the President of the United States having an affair with a 21-year-old intern. And then, it had many legs. So Democrats have a long history of putting pressure on media outlets to suppress stories that they don't want out there. And the Twitter files with the Hunter Biden laptop is very similar to the Newsweek story on Bill Clinton and Monica Lewinsky, okay? So the Democrats have a history of this, and they've gotten away with it. But the difference is this. The difference is now, the internet wasn't even really a thing then. I know there was an internet because we had Drudge Report and all that stuff, but it wasn't like it is today. And now what is going to happen is a job that was first started by the great President Donald Trump when he came down the escalator and started talking about fake news, fake media. Now Elon Musk is continuing and completing that, holding the media accountable. They got away with these things before. Now listen, we're going to take our break for the bottom of the hour. Our number is toll free, 1-888-GO-KANE-1. Now, when I go to take the calls, it may be a little awkward, okay, because we're in a new place and trying everything out and everything, so you got to bear with us today. That's cool. It's live radio, and that stuff makes it more interesting, doesn't it? Oh, yeah. Our number is toll-free, 1-888-GO-CANE-1, 888-465-2631. It's a toll-free call no matter where you're listening to us and no matter where you're calling from. It's a toll-free call, 1-888-GO-CANE-1. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. We'll be back right after this.
All right, got to do that first part here. Let's go.
Okay, so far so good.
I wonder what happened to the yeah, you got it.
That happens. It's no problem.
All right, I'm going to make sure everything is
Yeah, okay. Yeah, this is not the news studio. This is the control room. The news studio is over there, and it's not quite finished yet. So, this is where the board op is usually. So the board op is off to the side doing his stuff while I'm here doing my stuff. Steve Kane Show. Okay. Okay, I am not sure. I am not sure how the phones work. So the people calling in, I'm getting text messages with everyone's opinion. This is not the normal place we're going to be. This is the, and we just came in here. I was set up in the new studio, and we found out it wasn't completely connected. So like a few seconds before airtime, I had to run in here and get set up. So, all right, I'm not really sure about this. Does that mean they're locked in? What do I do? Like I do this, Steve Kane Show. I can't hear them. So how do I put them on hold? Does this put the... Oh, that's the hold button. Yep. Okay. I probably hung up on all the callers that called in.
Well, I'm sure you just, you know.
Well, I'd like to see you walk into a radio station you've never used anything and run it properly. I've been here before, but I've never even really looked at the board. Everyone's got an opinion. Okay, so when I put them on the air,
you just click the...
it's this pot, and I click this button?
Yeah.
Okay. And you say that phone's run hot. All right. Yes, I know iHeart's running last Monday's show, probably. We're not connected to the station in Boca, so those stations are carrying a different show. Did you get that thing figured out with the playing the traffic again and everything?
Yeah, they just told me to put it as I remember it, so I just deleted the extra stuff and just left it. I was like, you gave me the okay?
Okay, so we'll come back at 3240. So.
Yeah. This is the comeback time actually now.
It is?
Down right here.
Oh, 33, okay.
Yep. Maybe we'll connect to the Wi-Fi?
Yeah, well, no, I'm connected on mine. I'll do that after.
Gotcha. Let me save my phone just in case next time.
And this is this pot. Okay. Good morning, everyone. Make sure you subscribe if you're new, guys. We'll see how well the calls go. We'll be back in a minute, guys. 1 minute.
Megan from Palm Beach Patio Furniture. We're celebrating the holidays with incredible values on our outdoor patio furniture. Sunset West seating and dining, Hanneman collections, and of course custom designs for all of your backyard spaces. Palm Beach Patio Furniture, where luxurious outdoor spaces are created. Come in today and say hi during our holiday celebration and save a bundle. The newly remodeled Palm Beach Patio Furniture, located in the Seminole Shops Plaza, North Palm Beach, or online at palmbeachpatiofurniture.com.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show, celebrating 45 years on the air.
All right, welcome back, everyone. See, we got everything worked out now, Mike? Mike's the board op that's up here helping me today. So, little rough in the beginning, but that's okay. I've been through much worse. Believe me, I've been through much worse. All right, our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE, 1-888-465-2631. And, of course, we're talking about the Twitter files. And I'm going to attempt to take the first call. So that button right there will do it? All right, let's find out. Good morning, you're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Mike from Louisiana.
All right, Mike from Louisiana. It went well. Good. Worked. Isn't that amazing? Telephone.
The whole thing, I mean, I think he knew, I think Elon Musk knew the moment he bought it that Twitter has been complicit in covering things, helping to cover things up.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know what? I've not heard this confirmed by Elon Musk, who is, I think Elon Musk has just saved the country because he's exposing the media in a way that it's never been exposed before. This is like the Pentagon Papers in reverse, right? The Washington Post had the Pentagon Papers exposing the Pentagon and what they were doing in Vietnam. Now we've got the Twitter files, which are hardcore evidence showing what both this White House was doing and a major media outlet, probably the most major of all media outlets, at least at that time. We've never had this before. But what I've heard reported, and again, I've not heard Elon Musk confirm this, but what got him to buy Twitter is when Twitter banned the Babylon Bee on Twitter. They banned the Babylon Bee. He had, I guess he followed them, was friends with them, and that's when he said, hey, I'm going to buy Twitter. And that was what did it.
Wow, you know, and that's the thing. And look, the media has been complicit in covering things up for high-level Democrats for ages. I mean, for God's sakes, what happened with Chappaquiddick? That thing just, after that...
Oh, I know. I mean, Democrats literally, think about it with Chappaquiddick. Democrats literally kill people, and then the media cover it up. And then they spend their time making up stories about Republicans. I mean, and this is the way it's always been, the double standard. But see, you know, we're very lucky. Think about this. We have the richest man in the world on our side. I mean, that's amazing. Could you imagine if he were on the other side? Oh my goodness, we'd be done, Mike.
We'd be done. I mean, if there was another guy that had bought Twitter.
Oh my goodness.
Musk. You know.
Yeah.
that Dorsey and them were going to sell Twitter anyway. It was just who was going to...
Well, I tell you, the most amazing thing about this whole thing with Twitter is that they let Elon Musk buy it. Because this is just the beginning of what is going to come out. Because once you give people, being the internet age, these people, I do very little in writing, and I've always been this way. And if anyone out there, if you email me or text message me, the response is usually one word, 2 words. I put nothing in writing. Not that I'm doing things that need to be covered up like these Twitter creeps were, but I just put nothing in writing because it can be put in all kinds of ways. These people that were running Twitter, everything's electronic. They put everything in writing, and it's archived on the servers that Elon Musk bought. So what we're going to find, I remember when Elon Musk first announced that he was buying Twitter, one thing that people were talking about that I thought was really amazing, and I can't remember who brought this up. It was somebody, a well-known conservative. I just can't remember which one it was offhand. But they said, we know conservatives have been throttled down on Twitter, right? Suppressed. Your tweets aren't seen. Wouldn't it be cool if we all were able to access our personal Twitter files to see how things happened and how these things happened, right? And people are going to start asking for that now. And you already see they're asking for more information right now than we had before. Now, how do I answer that without hanging up on him?
It was him. I mean, look.
Oh, nope, it didn't work. Oh, it didn't work. I hit the wrong button, guys. That's okay. It's my fault. It's my fault. So what do I do to put him on the air? What do I do?
It should be on there.
It's on the air. All right, caller. Good morning. You're the second. Sorry, Mike in Louisiana. I mistakenly hung up on you. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from? I'll get this figured out. Oh, hey, Wisconsin. Gary. Good morning.
Brian, a lot of people don't realize some of the things that a radio broadcaster has to do. And granted,
I'm telling you,
that you are in, and it's like somebody that would be customer service out of India and saying, "Oh my goodness, what are you doing today?"
Oh my goodness. Hey, listen, you can't do things like that in 2022, Gary. I know that's considered racist, cultural appropriation. You're committing all kinds of liberal crimes.
Yeah, but it's like for what you've got to do with a new studio, even though the new studio is not done yet. But I give you 100% credit for everything you've got to do today.
I'll wait till you guys see the new place. I can't when everything is set up and it's all working, and I'm going to give you a tour, and I'm going to put it up on YouTube. I am not in our new studio. This studio is new to me. This is the old studio in the new building. The new studio is the coolest, most modern radio studio I have ever seen. It's going to blow you guys away, especially when you see when you're used to where I've been broadcasting from. Some of the
got really used to seeing that nice big office or the big studio you were in, so.
And don't forget about the Scotch tape on the windows behind me. That was baked on the windows there. Oh my goodness.
And it's definitely a big change seeing you going from a big studio to, the boardroom, which a lot of us have not seen, but it's like, I give you credit, Brian.
Oh, yeah.
You have a lot of credit for me.
I appreciate it.
That's going on with Twitter. I hope a lot of that really comes back to haunt the Democrats of everything that happens, and everybody that hears everything for investigations that come on. Think about that in 2024 when you go and vote and figure, this is what the Democrats did to us to silence a lot of people. And finally,
well, Gary, the Republicans have already said over the weekend that not only are there going to be hearings on the Twitter files, everyone involved in both sides of the communication are going to be called in to testify. And it's going to be beautiful because you're going to have Jen Psaki and maybe even people higher than her called in to testify. They're going to be reading their email correspondence back and forth, and they're going to have to account for it. This is historic. Nothing like this has ever ever happened, and it's going to be like the whole country is going to shut down because people are going to want to watch this live when it happens. And it's not going to be long. The Republicans take over January 3rd, and this is going to be one of their first courses of action because they just have to read the emails to these people. It's going to be quick when this happens.
Right. And I'm hoping, and I really can't say the name, but the platform that, you're streaming to, I'm hoping they're one of them that's up there. So that is that.
All right. All right, Wisconsin Gary. Okay. All right, I'm still trying. All the problems you're hearing, they're my problems. There you go. Okay. During the break, I'll figure out how to use a telephone. All right. I'll figure out how to use a telephone during the break. It happens. It happens. It could be worse. All right. Our number, 888-GIL-KANE-1. It's a toll-free call. 1-888-465-2631. Now, after the break, I'll take some more calls and also get to some of the audio sound bites of everything that's been going on over the weekend because there's been a lot of news. And, of course, the Sunday shows, it's amazing to me. If you think about past presidents, especially presidents that have only had one term, once they're out of office, that's it. You never really hear from them again. Every once in a while, they'll show up like throwing the first pitch at a baseball game or something. But you don't hear them actually part of the news cycle. And we are seeing President Trump not only as a part of the news cycle, he's the entire news cycle. And the Sunday shows that no one watches, but that's okay. I still, I pull off some good sound bites from them. The Sunday shows basically had one focus and one focus only, and that was Donald Trump. It's really amazing. 2 years since the end of his first term, and he still commands the entire news cycle when he's not doing anything, really. I mean, he announced he's running for president, but what I mean by that is he's not on Twitter. He's on Truth. He comments here and there a little bit, but he's been pretty silent the last few weeks, even through everything that's come out on Twitter, although he did make some comments over the weekend, very mild comments. And the media, while they're not reporting the Twitter files, their scandal is Trump's reaction to the Twitter files. So we're going to get into all that and a whole bunch more coming up after the break. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian Craig. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GIL-KANE-1, 888-465-2631. We'll take our last break of the hour, come back with more calls and more topics right after this. Don't go anywhere. Okay. So I keep screwing this up. So when somebody calls, I click on this button
to put them on the air.
Put them on the air.
If you want to lock them in without dropping them on accident, just lock that in.
So how do I answer it to over here?
Yeah, to hold.
Okay, that holds.
Like do that, like I think. No, hold on. Well, someone has to call first, right?
Right, Mike.
Hi, Mike. How you doing?
Nice to meet you. How are you?
Good. Putting faces to everybody now.
Yeah. The phones. So when someone is on there, the left side's the hold. No. Well, no. Well, technically.
Well, if I
were for the handset to pick it up, right side's for hold.
Yeah.
Okay, so if when someone calls, I use this side.
To answer on the handset, yes.
And then to put them on hold, I do what?
Click the right side, it'll transfer them over. And then holds at the bottom right if you want them.
Right there?
One over to the left.
This one.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, okay. So, answer. Then.
If you want to answer on the handset, yes, the left side.
Well, what I usually will do is answer it without picking it up. So I'll do that and then do this.
No,
that'll do what? Okay, so I'm going to do that. Oh, that puts them on hold. Okay, I see. Boom, hold, and then I click them on to put them on the air.
Yeah, don't like that.
And then that, boom. Okay.
And if you click it again, it'll lock them in.
Okay.
So it doesn't, if you drop.
Yeah, if you press it once, it'll come up, and then it's locked in. Now it can't be dropped.
Okay. So, but then I drop it. Okay. So, boom.
Put them straight on. Yeah.
Hold.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And then click them. Okay. All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, because I don't want everybody here to know the inner workings of everything that's going on. Just keep in mind, there's like 1,000 people listening to you there now. The dump button is which one of these?
That one right there.
This one here. Okay. Okay.
Might need that.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh, the
Can't give out all the. You guys are seeing more than you should be seeing right now, actually.
like the bottom like had two traffics and weather, so I had to do one of them.
Okay.
And then the next break it was all mixed up too. It looks all
I'll take a look now. Tina might have
smushed
been
on
able to see.
accident. Yeah. For the 8 o'clock hours like that.
Oh, we're coming back. All right, welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian. You're listening to the Steve Kane Show. I just got instructions during the break on how to use a telephone. So, and I'm probably still going to mess it up next time. So that's okay. But listen, guys, our number 888-GO-KANE-1. Lots going on, lots to talk about. But I want to first talk about Dr. Philip Appleton and his laser away pain treatment. You know, Dr. Appleton is absolutely amazing. He's rid me of pain in 2 parts of my body that were completely different types of pain, right? Most recently, about 3 weeks ago, I had arthritis pain in my one of my fingers, in the joint. And I really couldn't figure out why I had arthritis. And then I realized the dump button was on my right side. So I'd hit the dump button with so many callers over the years. See, you trolls and chronics and liberals should be very happy. I had to dump you so much during your calls. You gave me arthritis over the years. But the new studio is a lefty studio, so I'll be using my left hand. But anyway, Dr. Appleton gave me the laser away pain treatment, rid me of my arthritis pain. And about 4 months ago now, 3.5, 4 months ago, I went in for my knee pain that I'd suffered from a skateboarding accident. And I'd been suffering from knee pain for years and years and years. You guys heard me talk about that. And boom, after just 2 treatments, the knee pain was gone. After just 1 treatment, the arthritis pain was gone. It's absolutely amazing. Now, the laser away pain system works on all kinds of pain. I'll talk more later on about the different kinds of pain that it works on. But you've heard me talk about this many times. If you are suffering with pain, stop. Call Dr. Appleton. No appointments necessary. He's open 6 days a week. And also, with your laser away pain treatment, he'll give you, if you want it, free acupuncture, which works. I had the acupuncture with the laser away pain on my arthritis pain, and just 1 treatment, and the pain not only was gone, it has not returned almost a month later. 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710 is the number, and online at AppletonChiro.com. Make sure you tell him you heard about him on the radio to take advantage of the no-charge consultation. All right, back to the Twitter files. So, you know, when these people are called in to testify, this isn't like innuendo or even a timeline. These people actually have written communications where they spelled out everything they were doing. Okay, we don't like this tweet, get rid of it. And then not only did they do it, they documented that they did it and for who at Twitter. And when these people get up and testify in front of the hearings that are going to probably be the first hearings, at least the first major hearings, scandalous hearings, that we're going to get out of the new Republican-controlled House of Representatives. And you know what? That's what we want. You know, there's a lot of things you can impeach Biden for. There's a lot of scandals. You know, Biden's whole life is a scandal. We understand that. But this is the one that we want them to start with because it's fresh in people's minds and because of the documented evidence. Now, I do want to say this. I was reading this morning, and this is pretty interesting. Kevin McCarthy's chances of becoming Speaker of the House, thankfully so, have dropped tremendously. I mean, they're even talking about never McCarthy's now, which is a new thing. I heard that over the weekend. I think it was Chuck Todd on Meet the Press who was talking about never McCarthy's. And I'm a never McCarthy. You guys a never McCarthy? Kevin McCarthy is a snake. He cannot be trusted. He colluded with Pelosi and Liz Cheney and many others after January 6th and actually talked about ways that they could remove Trump from office and make Pence the president, okay? So that's a pretty big deal. Just on that alone is enough for him to not only not be the Speaker of the House, but hold 0 leadership position. So what they're reporting over the weekend, and there's a move being made to this, that the replacement for Kevin McCarthy is Steve Scalise. Now, Steve Scalise, we all like Steve Scalise, and Steve Scalise is a hard guy to criticize because Steve Scalise was shot by that Bernie Sanders campaign worker. You guys remember that. In fact, the guy tried to kill the entire Republican baseball team, but Steve Scalise is who we got, and he suffered a lot. So, you know, I know Steve Scalise. See, Steve Scalise is a smart guy. I'll tell you why. Steve Scalise, I think, has known all along that he was going to make the move to be the Speaker of the House. I really do. And he certainly deserves it. I haven't heard anything from Steve Scalise that would make me think the things about him that I think about Kevin McCarthy. But hold on. I'm still trying to figure out the phones, guys. You got to bear with me. Just bear with me. I'll get it figured out by the end of the show, I promise. There we go. Wait a second. Okay. I finally figured out how to put someone on hold. Okay. Well, see, I've been doing everything in the same place for so long, so you change it on the first day. It's going to happen, guys. But Steve Scalise, I saw him on an interview, I don't know, about 6 months ago, and it really ticked me off. You know, and I don't want to be mad at Steve Scalise since that Bernie Sanders guy shot him and everything. You know, I got sympathy for the guy. But he was backing Kevin McCarthy to be Speaker of the House. And I'm starting to think now that he's been in play, Steve Scalise, for all these many months to become the Speaker of the House, and was backing Steve Scalise knowing that MAGA, that the Republicans wouldn't support him, and he'd come in and boom and be the Speaker of the House. So right now, that's the latest on who's going to be Speaker, Steve Scalise. And you know what? I think that's pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that, I must tell you. I'd be pretty happy. I'd be much happier with him than a guy that lived with Frank Luntz and did all the other things that he did. All right, our number, 888-GIL-KANE-1, 888-465-2631. I'm going to make another attempt, so let's go. 1-888-465-2631. So if I do that, which button? This one?
We'll click it. Click the right.
Yep.
There you go.
Okay. All right. Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning. This is Chris from Boca.
Hey, Chris. He's going to tell me the other station's off.
Watch. Correction, by the way, how's your eye doing? Remember their eye was bad.
My eye was bad. Was it? I don't know. I have so many problems, I've lost track.
Hey, what I'm getting at, you need an A correction. You mentioned that the FBI had something to do with it. You know, the FBI doesn't take care of the president. It's the Treasury that
I said the FBI had something to do with what? He's listening to the other show.
Letting the person in Conway. Yep.
Oh, okay. You're talking about Kanye West showing up at Mar-a-Lago. No, I'll tell you. No. No, you are incorrect in your correction of me. Okay, you ready? What happens? Okay, what happens a lot of times when someone comes to visit President Trump and they do a background check, they do the check through the FBI. You know, and where you're. Mm-hmm. So what's happening with? No, that's cool. So what happened with that white supremacist Holocaust denier, Fuentes, who's now world famous because of the liberal media and all this stuff, I think that when they did the background check, they knew exactly who he was and okayed him to get in anyway so that they could have this narrative that President Trump was meeting with a white supremacist.
We'll still stick by Trump anyway because we know he's always being set up. You know.
Well, let me tell you, there is nothing President Trump could do that would get me and most people that support him to stop supporting him. The people that come out and say, well, you know, I used to support Trump and I don't, they were just faking their support of President Trump before. Yeah, they never really were a supporter. Like Candace Owens. You know, people, you know, I remember Candace Owens before she got famous. She was on a platform called Periscope, which was put out by Twitter. And during Trump's first run, she was attacking Trump and making very crude comments about his hand size, which is a reference to, you know, you guys can figure out what that's a reference to. And then she got hooked up with a couple people and got on the MAGA train, and look, now she's worth millions and millions of dollars. So she always was a never Trumper. She's, you know, I don't even know if it was that sophisticated. I just think she was someone who wanted to be famous and saw it as a path to be famous. But what I was talking about with what you're talking about with Fuentes, I think that they did the background check. That guy's on every watch list you could possibly be on. He's a terrible person, Fuentes. They saw it and they let him in. They cleared him. even though he shouldn't pass any security check to get near anyone, so that they could get the narrative going that Trump was meeting with white nationalists. And I mean, you know, we bump into people all the time. You know, I'll run into listeners, and sometimes when I'm out and about, I don't do a background check. I don't know who they are.
And that the president also has his own security detail too.
Well, he has, you know, if anyone who goes up to Mar-a-Lago will tell you that he's under the watch of the United States Secret Service. So it's the Secret Service, but when they do the background checks, it goes through the FBI. And the FBI, you know, getting into this Twitter files business, the FBI was having weekly meetings with all of the social media platforms to cover up Biden's scandals and crimes. And remember, they're the ones that broke into Mar-a-Lago and ransacked the place a few months back, too. That was the FBI.
And we're looking through his panties and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if he's going to show that tape on, that video
on. The Justice Department made a move a couple months back. You're talking about Trump's own video that he has inside of Mar-a-Lago. The Justice Department went to court and went in front of the judge to stop that from happening, and obviously they were successful. They made it part of the evidence chain or something, which means it's sealed and we can't see it.
Yeah, right. Well, keep up the good work, Eric.
Well, I appreciate it. Well, thank you for the call. I appreciate it. All right, absolutely. I need all the luck I can get, guys. I really do. All right, 1-888-GO Kane 1 is our number. We're coming up on the top of the hour break, and after the top, we'll take some more calls and also get to the audio sound bites, and we got a lot more to talk about. Now, I want to tell you guys about Anne Marie's in Pompano. Anne Marie's is absolutely amazing, and they're closed on Mondays, guys. I'm sorry to report. Today's Monday, and Anne Marie's is not open on Monday, but they're back open on Tuesday, and of course, they're open every other day of the week. And this is where my family are having Christmas dinner. Christmas is on Sunday this year. So what I'm doing is I'm going over to Anne Marie's on the Saturday before, and I'm getting a whole bunch of takeout. I'm getting some pizzas. I'm going to get a Sicilian, which is the best Sicilian pizza I've ever had. I mean, this is like the kind of Italian food that your Italian grandmother in New York makes. It's all homemade at Anne Marie's. So I'm going to get a couple of the pizzas. One of them will be the Sicilian, and of course, the Italian favorites, the lasagna, the chicken parm, the spaghetti and meatballs. And don't be fooled when we talk about spaghetti and meatballs. Oh, spaghetti and meatballs. You haven't had the meatballs at Anne Marie's. First off, they're huge. They're huge. They're like soccer balls. They're huge. They're homemade. They taste delicious. And the red sauce on the spaghetti, of course, is homemade with Grandma's recipe. Anne Marie's is in Pompano on the northwest corner of Copans Road and US 1 Federal Highway, in the same plaza as the movie theater. Now, again, they're closed on Mondays, but they'll be back open tomorrow. If you go in for lunch, their lunch specials run until 2 p.m. every day of the week, including Saturday and Sunday. All right, we'll take our break for the top of the hour. Our number, 888-GO Kane 1, 888-465-2631, 888-465-2631. You're listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. We'll be right back after this. Don't go anywhere. Yeah, so, yeah, like they're listening to, that's probably going to happen. He's listening to the other show. I just haven't had enough coffee today. So I answer the phone here.
Yep. And then if you want to put them on hold, just press the hold.
Put them on hold. And then to put them on the air, I click that again. And now they're on the air.
Correct.
And then off.
There you go.
But if I go to another phone, I got a line, I got to lock.
Yeah, we'll lock them in.
Well, actually, I can pick one up here and put them on hold. No, to put both of them on hold.
That's why you try locking one of them, like locking them in on the other one.
Yeah, so I'll answer it, I'll lock him in, and then I'll take this one, and then I'll put him on hold, and then we're good to go. All right, there we go. All right. Okay.
Tandem Road, there might be a crash there, folks, and you want to avoid that. 441 I-95 are still in great shape, and moving at the speed between Boca Raton and Jupiter. We're sponsored by Mucinex DM. Not all cops are the same. By Mucinex.
Now, what happened? That there's a Monday show from last week is running on our Boca stations. So that guy that called in was calling in about what I was talking about. He didn't know it was a tape.
Mucinex DM, but nothing lasts longer among OTC cough and cold medicines used as directed. That's traffic.
Here's your True Oldies ABC News updates.
Everything working okay with the phones?
Yep. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were set up here. So then I went there. Then we came back. We went back and forth like 3 times, like 5 minutes before airtime.
We still made it, like, just a little after. But we got it.
Opinions
Oh.
like it.
We have to move back if we were there eventually. Like Thursday, I think.
That rejoin is probably the most true statement you will ever hear on this program. There's no doubt about that. All right, welcome back, everyone. It's the 7 o'clock hour. It's Monday. We're here live. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977. We're talking about the Twitter files, and I'm getting more text messages and emails from people than I've gotten, like, ever, asking me all kinds of questions. But if you're text messaging me, wait till after the show, guys, please. And I got a huge announcement coming up about Anne Marie's that I just got from the sales department, which I'll tell you in just a bit. Huge announcement involving Anne Marie. He said you're going to be rushing in there tomorrow to take advantage of this because they got a great special going. All right, now, listen, I want to get to some of the audio sound bites. So the biggest scandal in the history of the media breaks over the weekend. We find out that we got a media organization, Twitter, of social media, in collusion, very openly, not even hiding it, with a presidential campaign, the Biden campaign, and they were suppressing any story that came out that they didn't like, in particular the Hunter Biden laptop story. I mean, this is devastating. And we have all the emails, we have the names, all the contacts, and you can walk right through the timeline in the Twitter files and see everything that was involved. So most of the media have ignored this story. Those that are reporting it have 2 different versions. One is, anticlimactic. Oh, yeah, sure. And the other one is what we heard on MSNBC. Now, Stephanie Rule on MSNBC, she's a real beaut, and she brings in some guest, some media expert, and their liberal analysis is that the Twitter files being released to show this scandal going on is actually good for Twitter and for the Bidens. Listen to this.
He spent the majority of his day promoting a heavily criticized Twitter thread about the laptop of Hunter Biden, a private citizen, someone who is obviously the son of President Biden, but who is not a government.
Okay, now I love this, okay? Well, Hunter's a private citizen, so, nothing he does is even worthy of discussion. He's a private citizen. How many times did Don Jr., Eric, and Ivanka, and, well, I'll throw in Jared Kushner, too, but how many times did the Trump kids have to show up and testify? I never heard anyone say, oh, Don Jr., Eric, Ivanka, they're private citizens. Everything they do is none of our business. Are you kidding me? They were involved in testifying endlessly in front of committees in the Congress. But I didn't hear any of this private citizen. And by the way, they weren't doing crimes. And, you know, the other thing you got to remember, notice how they totally ignore the fact of what was going on. Hunter Biden does not have crooked business dealings. His dad does. He's the front man. He's the bag man for his father's crimes, right? But anyway, let's get back. Let me rewind a little bit. Stephanie Rule here. Piece of work.
Today, Elon Musk, he spent the majority of his day promoting a heavily criticized Twitter thread, about the laptop of Hunter Biden, a private citizen, someone who is obviously the son of President Biden, but who is not a government official. Can you explain this whole thing to us?
Sure.
You know, I love this with Stephanie Rule before we get the explanation. What she's asking is, yeah, he's involved in all this illegal stuff, and the drugs, the prostitutes, the diamond from China and all these things. Can you tell me why we're even talking about this? Because he's a private citizen after all. And you know, when Stephanie Rule asks that question, she actually believes that. You know, a lot of these liberals are true believers. They're fanatics. And she truly does not understand why the Hunter Biden laptop is even newsworthy. She actually believes that. You can tell by how casual she is. She's not like in a panic over it.
Can you explain this whole thing to us?
Sure. So background, in 2020, there was a New York Post story about Hunter Biden's laptop. When that came out, it was suggesting that somehow Hunter Biden, the president's son, was trading his clothes.
Okay. Now, notice that this is what I was telling you guys, okay? Because a lot of people say, you heard this, right? Like when CBS broke the story a week or two ago about the laptop, and a lot of people would say, oh, we know about all this stuff. And I told you guys then, I said, if you get your news from the mainstream media, Fox, CNN, you wouldn't know about the Hunter Biden laptop. And you can tell when this woman with Stephanie Rule on MSNBC is explaining this to people as if they've never heard about the laptop before. Oh, yeah, you know, there was this story, supposedly Hunter's laptop. The audience at MSNBC are hearing about this for the very first time. And you know what? They haven't even seen the videos and the photographs from the laptop yet.
Someone who is obviously the son of President Biden, but who is not a government official. Can you explain this whole thing to us?
Sure. So background, in 2020, there was a New York Post story about Hunter Biden's laptop. When that came out, it was suggesting that somehow Hunter Biden, the president's son, was trading his closeness with the president to gain money and a position in Ukraine. When that came out, we now know it was a really helpful thing, actually, the Twitter files today, because we got to see how content moderation works. We got to see how when a group of people with differing political ideas and ideologies and views gets together in the spirit of making a platform safe and healthy, and right before an election, right when we knew, we had just learned of like the hack and leaks and WikiLeaks and all the stuff that did to hurt and to affect the 2016 election. In 2020,
okay, so she goes on and on. Okay, now she mentioned WikiLeaks. Oh, you know, in this era of, you know, WikiLeaks, most people don't understand WikiLeaks. WikiLeaks are not hackers. People think, and this is what she's putting out there, that WikiLeaks, Julian Assange and his team at WikiLeaks, are computer hackers that hack into computer systems and get information. That is not true. They're a media organization, and people give them information. They don't go out and hack. People give them information, and then they just put the raw information on their platform, WikiLeaks, on their website. That's it. They're not hackers. And notice what one thing she said. It's interesting how people, this is what they say on MSNBC. The Twitter files are a good thing. And it's interesting how people of different political backgrounds can come together for content moderation. What different backgrounds? Everyone involved in this is a Democrat. The people from the other side, the other background, are the people like James Woods, who are having their tweets suppressed or deleted, or like McEnany, who was White House press spokesperson at the time for the President of the United States, is suspended from Twitter. There was no other side involved in any of this whatsoever, so I don't know what she's talking about. But in their world, this all makes sense because she says it's about safety, right? It's about safety. And what they mean by this is this, okay? Trump is dangerous. And because they limited this information, it helped defeat Trump. and it helped Biden win. That's the safety, right? That's the danger. The danger is Trump is dangerous. So this is very good news because we see how this team of people at Twitter got together and stopped something dangerous, which is the re-election of Donald Trump. That's what they're telling themselves. And you know what? They believe it. Now, most of them that think he's dangerous, if you ask them to list one or two things that make him dangerous, they wouldn't be able to do it because he's not. The only thing he's dangerous to is to the Washington establishment stranglehold on power over our lives. All right? He's not dangerous to us. He's not dangerous to the country. But they think he is. So stopping this information on Twitter, helping the guy running against him, is a safety issue. Let's see if this lib has anything else interesting to say. I doubt it, but let's find out.
Heightened, right? People were trying to do the right thing inside Twitter. And it looked, this weird story of a laptop left in some repair shop, it looked like a hack and leak.
Okay, it looked like a hack and leak. Some laptop left in a repair shop. That is not what happened. Hunter Biden took the laptop to have it repaired and left it behind. Now, ask yourself this. Now, you guys are not multimillionaires probably like Hunter Biden, right? How many of you have ever taken a laptop, especially a MacBook, because that's what these were. These were Apple laptops. How many of you have taken a laptop to a repair shop to have it repaired in this day and age? What do? You get a new one, right? Who gets, especially when you're a rich guy who's rich with all your stolen corrupt money that you've gotten through your dad's corrupt public official work. No one gets laptops repaired. No one. Not even, especially rich people. Now, I got a bunch of old computers that I keep because you always worry about the hard drive. You got your personal stuff on them. I just buy a new one and I got, in the closet, I got like an old computer or something, That's what most of us do. But we have both Biden children. We got Hunter and his sister. Both did the same thing in different ways. He left the laptops, and Ashley Biden left the diary at the rehab. And the diary in the rehab was filled with things that I'm not even going to repeat on the air here because they're so inappropriate and vile. Both Biden children left these things on purpose to be discovered to embarrass their dad because they both hate their father. And that's a fact. All right, listen, we're going to take our first break of the hour and come back. Our number 888-GO-KANE-1, 888-465-2631. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian Craig, back after this.
Bringing the heat to your radio every morning. It's the Steve Kane Show on Oldies 95.9 and 106.9.
Okay.
Right now, order your My Pillow, My Slippers for $90 off in all sizes and colors for both men and women. The My Pillow that started it all is just $19.98. The 3-inch My Pillow mattress topper is 50% off. The My Pillow pet bed is 50% off too. There's also incredible savings on the 6-piece My Pillow towel set, the 100% Giza cotton dream sheets, the My Pillow bathrooms, whatever special you see at My Pillow.
Oops. I got it. Yeah, people are messaging me about the wrong show playing over there.
It's hurricane season, and if you have a wet spot on your ceiling, you have a leak in your roof. When we had a leak in our roof at the Kane household, we called Tom Laporta. He's the best in the business. Remember, small leaks turn into medium leaks, and medium leaks turn into big problems. Call licensed contractor Tom Laporta for a free roof inspection. 954-604-4602, and tell him Steve Kane sent you.
Yeah, thank you so much. I'll see you in a bit. Yeah.
Oh, okay, so we got it figured out for Boca?
Well, not for Boca, but that's where Steve's going to come in on from. If
Where?
you ever want to come in the remote comics.
Oh, that he's hooked up?
Yeah.
Well, I have not heard from Steve today, which surprises me. I was talking to him. Oh, it caught me off guard. All right, welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show, broadcasting from our new, well, it's new to me, right? Our corporate headquarters, not in the new studio, a studio that is new to me next to the new studio, which looks like SpaceX built the studio next door. Wait till you guys see it. It's going to blow you away. I can't wait to get in there. I'm in the control room now, but this is the old studio here is much nicer than the newest one at the last place I was at. All right, welcome back, guys. We got lots going on, lots happening, lots to talk about. And our number toll free, 1-888-GO-KANE-1, 888-465-2631. So listen, I got a big announcement here with Anne Marie's. Listen to this. This is absolutely amazing. Because it's holiday time, Christmas time, New Year's, Jewish holidays, and everything else. It's gift-giving season, right? And they are offering incredible things over at Anne Marie's. Listen to, now again, Anne Marie's is closed on Monday. They're closed every Monday, but they're open every other day of the week. If you go to Anne Marie's and spend $100, which is a lot of food, man. I mean, that's a lot of food at Anne Marie's. And of course, the portions are humongous at Anne Marie's. Listen to this. You spend $100 at Anne Marie's, and you will receive a $20 gift card good for your next visit. That's amazing. You spend $100, you get a $20 gift card good for your next visit. That's amazing. Now, you don't have to eat there to get the big deals either, but you should eat when you stop in. If you would like to buy some gift cards for your family and friends this holiday season, listen to this. Anne Marie's gift cards. This is an amazing offer, all right? You can get your Anne Marie's gift cards for all your friends and family. You spend $40, you get a $50 gift card to give away as a gift, right? You spend $40, you get a $50 gift card to give away as a gift. If you spend $80, they're going to give you a $100 gift card. Is that amazing? You spend $80, you buy a gift card for $80, you're actually going to get a gift card valued at $100 for just $80. You're going to get a $50 gift card for just $40. Pretty good deal, huh? So stop in tomorrow and any other day of the week and pick those up. Again, they're closed today, so don't go down there today, but go there tomorrow. And Anne Marie's in Pompano, located on the northwest corner of Copans Road and US 1 Federal Highway, in the same plaza as the movie theater. All right, so getting back to the Twitter files, you know, the thing about the Twitter files, one of the many things it does, other than bring us some justice and peace of mind and everything, it now takes us out of the conspiracy theory group that they've put us in, right? They've been telling us there's nothing to see here, that, you know, you're just a bunch of conspiracy nuts, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Everything we've said has been confirmed. Miranda Devine's book, Laptop from Hell, which is a must-read. You know, I went through that book. I got the book on tape. It is amazing. You already know Joe Biden's a crook. You have no idea. You don't know 10% of what this guy's done until you go through Miranda Devine's book. It's really frightening that someone so corrupt as the President of the United States. But when the laptop story came out, it came out before the final debate between President Trump and Joe Biden. And, of course, the moderator from NBC News did not bring up the laptop, but President Trump did. And he's been completely vindicated. I got two clips here. This is from the debate. This is Trump versus Biden, and it's in the NBC News debate. Listen.
This stuff is true about Russia, Ukraine, China, other countries, Iraq. If this is true, then he's a corrupt politician. So don't give me the stuff about how you're this innocent baby. Joe, they're calling you a corrupt politician. Nobody's
President Trump, I want to stay on the issue of race.
Okay, now she wants to stay on the issue of race, no doubt about it. Now, this moderator, I cannot remember her name, but just to let you know about her, okay, this is very important for you guys to know. You may not have heard, Fox News has fired Lara Trump. Lara Trump's been a paid contributor over at Fox News for a while. They fired Lara Trump, who's Eric's wife, because her father-in-law announced he's running for president. And they say, if you got personal connections like this, you can't be in the media. The moderator for this NBC debate, I cannot remember her name to save my life, but I do remember her face. She's the NBC News White House correspondent as well. She spent with her parents Christmas at the White House with President Obama, Michelle Obama, and the Obama kids. They went to the White House on Christmas Eve, stayed the night, and woke up Christmas morning with the entire Obama family, and their kids were young at the time, on Christmas morning. So you think she's got a side here? Of course she doesn't want to talk about the laptop. She wants to talk about race. Now, of course, these people they're all connected. But anyway, let's get back to this. This is a debate. This is Trump, Biden. The laptop story had just come out, and Trump's trying to bring up the laptop.
Corrupt politician. So don't give me the stuff about how you're this innocent
Christian
baby.
Welker, thank you.
No, they're calling you a corrupt politician. Nobody's
President Trump, I want to stay on the issue of race. We're talking about the issue.
Laptop from hell.
President Trump, we're talking about race right now, and I do want to stay on the issue of race. President Trump,
I have to respond to that.
Please,
because look,
very quick.
there are 50 former.
Now listen. This is an interesting thing. Biden sounds like he's with it here, doesn't he? Compared to now. I mean, back then, we thought he's. By the way, Christian Welker, thank you, Mike, is her name. Thank you very much. Back then, we thought he sounded out of it, but Biden has declined so much since that debate. He's really out of it now, right?
Of race. President Trump,
I have to respond to that.
Please,
because look,
very quick.
there are 50 former national intelligence folks who said that what he's accusing me of is a Russian plant.
Okay. Now this is beautiful. Okay, 50 former intelligence officials. And they're going to say they're bipartisan, CIA directors and a bunch of other people like that. When we get the Twitter Files House hearings, every one of those 50 intelligence officials that signed that letter saying that the Hunter Biden laptop from hell was Russian disinformation, the Republicans are already talking about this. This is why Steve Scalise will be a great speaker, because he's talking about this. These 50 former intelligence officials are all going to be hauled in front of the hearing to explain themselves and discuss how they arrived at this conclusion when we now know that it was truly Hunter Biden's laptop. It's going to be beautiful. And some of these people are very well known. CIA directors, FBI directors, and all this kind of stuff going on. All right, so let's get back to this.
There are 50 former national intelligence folks who said that what he's accusing me of is a Russian plant. They have said that this has all the five former heads of the CIA, both parties, say what he's saying is a bunch of garbage. Nobody believes it except his and his good friend Rudy Giuliani.
You mean the laptop is now another Russia hoax?
That's exactly what.
Is this
that's
where you're
exactly
going?
what.
This is where he's going. The laptop is Russia,
Gentlemen,
Russia.
I want to stay on the issue of race.
You
okay?
have to be kidding. Here we go again with Russia.
We're going to continue on the issue.
Okay, yeah, she wants to continue back on. I want to know, you know what issue I want to get into? Why is someone who spent Christmas morning with the Obamas in the White House with their young children moderating a debate for two guys running for president? Because you know how connected you have to be to spend Christmas morning at the White House with the president and first lady when they have two young children? You have to be pretty connected. So she's part of the problem too. Maybe she should be brought in front of it. But now she's not the only one. There's the other famous one was Lesley Stahl at 60 Minutes. This is beautiful. Let me see. I don't know if we have time to play this before the break because I don't want to have to stop this one because this one is just too good. So let me see here. Oh, yes, we've got time to play. Okay, this is Lesley Stahl interviewing President Trump. The laptop has come out. Everyone knows about it. And, of course, he brings it up to Lesley Stahl.
I think it's one of the biggest scandals I've ever seen, and you don't cover it. You want to talk about...
Well, because it can't be verified.
You want to talk about insignificant things.
I'm telling you.
Of course it can be verified. Excuse me, they found a laptop. Leslie.
It can't be verified.
Why can't it be verified?
The laptop.
Why do you say that?
Because
even the family hasn't... The family on the laptop... He's gone into hiding. For 5 days, he's gone into hiding.
He's preparing for your debate.
Oh, it's taken him 5 days to prepare? I doubt it. Okay. All right.
Yeah, see, Lesley Stahl. You know, there was a time, when I was a kid, a lot of you may remember this, a lot of you may not, 60 Minutes was like a credible outfit. Like, if there was a story on 60 Minutes, the country stopped, and everybody was talking about it on Monday morning. And like much of the news business is not in the business of news. They're in the business of covering up news. So all these people, Christian Welker from NBC, Leslie Stahl, these 50 former intelligence officials, all the rest are going to find themselves in front of a congressional committee and completely discredited. And I'll tell you, Leslie Stahl here, she's in the similar position that Dan Rather was when he had that fake story about George W. Bush being AWOL from the Texas Air National Guard. All right, listen, we're coming up on the bottom of the hour break. I know the Twitter files are huge. I got more to say about it. There's some other stories, too. You can also give us a call at 1-888-GO-CANE-1. New building, same number, guys. 888-465-2631. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. Back right after this. Yeah, I'm getting emails from people and everything. They think we're off today because yeah. That's fine. At least they're listening.
That's true. I should be on your YouTube.
Exactly. All right, where are we? Okay, Steve's going to come on at 8.
Perfect. We'll have him ready.
Steve Kane Show. Steve Kane Show. Okay. All right. Man. Okay. Of course, the one soundbite I want will not work. Coming back already? Oh, man. Okay. Quite ready. All right, welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian. You're listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. Steve will be joining us at the top of the hour. Okay, so the Twitter file. I know you guys think I'm obsessed with the Twitter files, and you're probably right. I mean, I am a little obsessed, but it's a good obsession, okay? It's not a negative one. And this is just all we've gotten now on the Twitter files really is an outline, right? When we get into it, it's going to be a lot more. And let me tell you, this is so brutal for Biden that one of the people that hate Trump the most are saying that Biden's in trouble here. And I'm talking about Meghan McCain. Meghan McCain hates Trump, right? Because of that, I like people that don't get captured comment. Listen to this. Twittergate, which is what it's now being called now. I'm glad there's a gate to it. Twittergate is nothing short of a scandal and it absolutely reeks. Joe Biden's political team pressured Twitter to ban their critics and remove negative stories about the Biden family in the run-up to Election Day. Now, it was one thing for then presidential candidate Joe Biden to mislead the American people in the light of day, as Biden did so on the debate stage in 2020 when he suggested his son's infamous laptop was a Russian plane. That's a good question. Did Biden know he was lying? I would say he did. He lied to the American people. The question that people are asking now, I love this, and this is a liberal question. Democrats came up with this. They came up with this question to ask Republicans, in particular Richard Nixon, what did the president know and when did he know it? Don't you love that? That's what we want to know about the laptop and the cover-up involved with Twitter. What did the president know and when did he know it? Now watch, this is when the cognitive decline is going to become, a bigger deal because he wants to play that up a lot now. So it's one thing for him to lie about. It's another thing for his campaign team to do it in secret, and that's apparently what happened. And we have the evidence in black and white. And, what Elon Musk did that was really a smart move. You're not the richest guy in the world for not being smart, right? He didn't just release these on his own. He went out and got this guy who's a liberal, Tiabi, or whatever his name is. I'm not sure how to pronounce his name. But he got this guy who's a liberal. He used to write for Rolling Stone, a liberal guy. He gave this information to a liberal journalist, and the liberal journalist released it. And that's why a lot of times I watch MSNBC, I watch CNN, I share stories on the air from Huffington Post and other liberal sources. Because if you go to conservative sources, like if you go to Breitbart, for example, or Newsmax, the liberals, they'll just tune out this, that's Newsmax, that's Breitbart, we know what they're all about. But if you go to the liberal sources, they can't, shoot down the messenger. That's why Elon Musk picked a liberal to do it. More to review from the Biden team. Read one email which listed 5 Twitter accounts. Handled was the reply, which meant the account had been suspended. In fact, 5 of them were suspended. So what this part of the Twitter files is about is people on the Biden team were monitoring Twitter. They saw tweets from people that were tweeting about the Hunter Biden laptop. They didn't like it. So they contacted someone at Twitter, and this is all documented in the emails, hard primary evidence. Delete these accounts. Not only did they do it, they got right back for them and said handled, like Twitter's working for Biden. It's still unclear what those accounts were tweeting, right, because they've been deleted. But a post by outspoken conservative actor James Woods was also targeted. And James Woods was on Tucker Carlson on Friday night, which was an amazing interview. James Woods was reportedly tweeting photos of Hunter Biden doing drugs and having sex with unknown partners on Twitter. And, James Woods, we really don't need to see those pictures, I must tell you. And his tweets got deleted. In fact, James Woods, for quite some time, was not even able to tweet because they demanded that he remove one of the tweets, and he wouldn't remove it, so they disabled his Twitter until he removed a tweet, which he wouldn't do. So he actually ended up losing access, James Woods, to his Twitter. And, that's amazing to me when you think about this. You know, James Woods, who they call James Wood with no S in the article, is actually a pretty amazing guy. And just tell you a quick story about James Woods that I don't think many people know. He was on Tucker Carlson on Friday, but many years ago, in 2002, he was on the Bill O'Reilly Show, which was on Fox News in the very same time slot. And he revealed something that was amazing. He was on, prior to 9/11, James Woods was on a flight to Los Angeles with Mohammed Atta and other 9/11 hijackers. And they made him nervous because of their behavior on the plane. And when he landed in Los Angeles, he called the FBI. This is James Woods, and he told this story on Bill O'Reilly. It's amazing. And he was still like making big movies out of Hollywood when this happened. You know, we're talking about 2002. And when he landed, he called the FBI. They came and interviewed him, and he said there were these guys, I don't know who they were, they looked like they were Middle Eastern, and it looked like they were rehearsing to hijack an airplane. And they took his information. He never heard from them again. And then after 9/11, when he saw the photographs, he recognized Mohammed Atta, James Woods. So, yeah, which isn't that something? And they obviously didn't do the FBI anything to truly follow up on his complaint, or they would have arrested Mohammed Atta, who was living here in Florida at the time. I thought it was a pretty amazing thing. And that, I mean, think about these two historic things that James Woods is connected to. And he's been a well-known Republican for quite some time. And he's talking about a class action lawsuit against these people at Twitter for their actions. And let me tell you, it would probably be the largest class action suit in history. I don't know about dollars, but so far as number of people, because Twitter is global, and there was a complete global blackout on the entire story. In fact, they weren't just suppressing the story, they were suspending and deleting people's accounts who were retweeting the story from the New York Post. This is unheard of, and it's a very exciting thing. And I'm really glad they did it, if you think about it, because, you know, a lot of people may be upset that they suppress it. I'm glad they did it, because now they're being exposed. And, you know, the media have had complete control over every aspect of our lives for our entire lives. And there's been zero accountability. Zero accountability. And for the very first time, it is going to happen. You know, there's a news story today that Katie Hobbs in Arizona, you know, ran against Carrie Lake, that Katie Hobbs had been communicating during this campaign of hers for governor with Twitter to delete and suppress things on Twitter involving her race in Arizona. Isn't that something? And it's a pretty interesting thing, because she's just, as the Secretary of State for Arizona, which really isn't a high office, and it's really not a major state. I don't know, every state's important, but you know what I mean? It's not like California, Florida, or New York or something. And even she, at her level, Katie Hobbs, has the ability to call people at Twitter to get them to pull tweets, suspend people, and suppress things. So what we're finding out is it's not just this Hunter Biden story, it's other things at even smaller levels, right? You know, there was someone tweeted yesterday a list of a bunch of recent hires that were just fired by Elon Musk. There were 8 of them. Every single one of them either worked for the CIA, the FBI, or military intelligence, and they had senior positions at Twitter. You know, the internet, you know, you hear people say that the government invented the internet. Yeah, that's true, but the original purpose of the internet was for the military intelligence, and the military in particular. Back in the 1960s, started using the early version of what became the internet, and that became what we have today. And all of these media companies, like Twitter and Facebook, this isn't just some guys who got together and created something, and then it became this platform that everyone on the planet was using. What we're finding is that the government has been working hand in hand very tightly with all of these organizations to control the narrative, to control the news, and everything else that we are being exposed to. And this Twitter file scandal is going to be the thing that brings down, like nothing else, the fake news media. You know, President Trump's greatest accomplishment is going to be the overturning of Roe v. Wade, right? Because millions of babies will be saved from now and forever because of that. However, his second biggest, I know people talk about different things, Abraham Accords and all that, I get it. President Trump's second biggest accomplishment is going to be bringing down the mainstream media. That's going to be it. And, you know, a lot of you are new to politics and you see how unfair they are to President Trump. The way they are with President Trump is how they have been to every Republican that I can remember. This is how they've always been with Republicans. Republicans have, you know, look at Newt Gingrich. Newt Gingrich is out there a lot now, and he's talking about who's going to be running as a Republican in 2024 and all this stuff. Newt Gingrich was Speaker of the House, and the media didn't like it, you know, because he had the Contract for America. Republicans took over both houses of Congress. It was the first time Republicans had controlled both houses for like 30 or 40 years. And they were on a vendetta against Newt Gingrich, reporting all kinds of stories that led to him leaving Congress. One of them was, there's a story that he served divorce papers to his wife while she was in the hospital dying of cancer. Now, we've not talked about that in a long time, but the last time that story came up, his wife didn't die of cancer. She was still alive and well, she had recovered. I don't know if she's since passed because he hasn't been a part of the dialogue so far as that in a long time. But that story that he served divorce papers to his wife while she was in the hospital dying of cancer was being reported in mainstream news outlets, and there were many others, and he was run out of office over that. There were some other ones too that were more minor, but that was a big one. Okay, so the media has always been a tool that's been used exclusively by the left. They brought down Nixon with it. They tried to bring down Trump. And they're even still trying today. When I get to some of the other audio sound bites coming up, you'll see what I mean. They're still trying to bring down Trump, even though he's out of office right now, because they know how popular he is and that he is coming back. Now, listen, we're going to take our last break of the hour. Let me give out the number. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-CANE-1. 888-465-2631. It's a toll-free call. 1-888-465-2631. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian Craig. Steve will be joining us at the top of the hour. And Steve and I have a few other things we're going to move into on top of this when he joins us at 8. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. What's happening?
Good morning, sir.
How you doing? How you doing?
The levels on the board. Commercial break.
You think they're low? Is this them?
Yeah, they should be up like.
Oh yeah, that was pretty low.
100%. Is it just on that one pot?
Yeah.
Okay.
We can make it on the other pods, but we'd have to flip the.
But the TOC computer comes off the one pot. Okay, sorry. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I just noticed the levels were a little off.
Yeah.
Wanted me to check.
Yeah, they were low.
Thank
Yeah.
you, sir.
They can design it for you. Bergman buys fine watches like Cartier, Patek Philippe, and many others. Do you find that you're no longer using certain pieces? Take them to Bergman Jewelers for a top offer. Bergman Jewelers pays the highest premium.
Yep.
Bergman Jewelers buys gold, silver, GIA certified diamonds, watches, and jewelry. Located at 50.
This is going to be Steve?
Yeah. Within the Alton Town Center in Palm Beach Gardens. Visit their showroom today. Bergman Jewelers.
Hey, it's Scott Shannon, and who doesn't want to have a home security system? So, by popular demand, we're bringing it back. Who wants a free doorbell camera? I wish I could give everyone a
darn
free
it.
doorbell camera, but I can't. I can give the first 40 True Oldies channel listeners who call today a free doorbell camera. 1-800-ALARM-ME. You'll get a free limited-time doorbell camera that connects directly to your phone with installation of your Sloman Shield. The doorbell camera is part of a free $1,500 customized security system. Now you're probably wondering, what comes in this package? Well, you're going to get a free LED touchscreen pad, a motion detector, 3 armed doors, and a backup battery, and their low-cost central station monitoring. But that's not all. You get free professional installation. Get it while it lasts today. The first 40.
Can you? I don't want to say it because I don't want them to hear it. Can you show me the password for the which Wi-Fi? Which one is it? The live? I think it's the live one.
It has to be live. Yeah, it's the
Let me.
live one.
Okay, let me look at it. I don't want to.
That first one.
Oh, okay. is. Let's see. All right. It worked. Steve Kane Show. What do I do to put on here? There we go.
Steve Kane Show, morning 6 to 9 a.m.
All right, we are back. Got that? All right, I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. All right, our number toll-free, 1-888-KILL-KANE-1 is our number. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Brian, I didn't come to talk to you on the air.
Oh, here we go. These are the best calls. These are the best calls. The ones that didn't mean to be on the... No, what did you want? You wanted the number for a sponsor? The Soul Authority. I don't have the number handy, but the Soul Authority in Tamarack. They're also in Pembroke Pines. All right?
And you once gave me an insult that I took.
Oh, really? I gave you an insult? What was it? What was it?
Well, I used to play a character in one of Steve early Steve Kane's show. I was like Mr. Bill, and I would call in when the lawyer was there.
No. First off, okay, I know who you are, Mr. Bill. Okay. Yeah, okay. No, I think you're a little confused. I think you got problems that involve more than your feet. You were not a character. I haven't even finished. I haven't even finished. You do. You obviously do. And your problem is you're a little reality deprived. You said you played a character on the Steve Kane Show. What does that imply to people that are listening? I remember you very well.
It was a skit.
It was a stick. Okay, now let me. Okay, this guy. He's got some problems. Maybe I can give you the number for Dr. Lemaski, our therapist.
Well,
how am I taking advantage? You got a lot. Okay, well, isn't that what we're supposed to do? Is entertain the audience between the spots? Isn't that what we're supposed to do?
The expense of longtime listeners that are loyal.
Well, no, you're loyal. You've been around. Okay, just let me give some background. Mr. Bill here called this is the longest running radio show in the state of Florida. So there were people that have been around for a long time that did things that involved things that most people have forgotten. You guys remember a character that was on television, Mr. Bill, who used to always run into some trouble? Oh no, Mr. Bill! And he used to do this Mr. Bill voice. Well, what you implied with that is that, yeah.
Mr. Kent, he'd go, Mr. Bill. Mr. Bill.
No. What you did was a little bit more than that, because I remember your calls I think I remember your calls better than you do. You would call in shows and you would do this loud, Mr. Bill, really super loud, and what you were was not a character, and certainly you were not employed by the radio station or Steve, because we don't, you were a chronic caller who was very much a pest to many talk show hosts who would call in, ambushing shows with this, oh my gosh. You used to call me, I remember you calling me and doing, Mr. Bill, and all this stuff. And sometimes there were different people on the air. Well, I guess that would, okay, so that's three. Me, Steve, Norm Kent, and there may have been others. You were a chronic, that tells you how long ago it was. You were a chronic caller whose purpose was to disrupt the program with that loud noise that I don't think you can do it anymore, listening to your voice. But you weren't like a character that was like working for Steve or the station. You were kind of like Al the John. Yes. That's a matter of perspective.
And we'd argue politics, and we'd start off the argument by saying,
okay. All right. Oh, my gosh.
out.
Yeah, it was loud. And you used to do it like Mr. Bill sometimes. But that's okay. Apparently you don't remember yourself. But I remember. Hey, listen, thanks for the... I hope your feet get better, all right?
In this new job, I stand a lot, and I just need something to keep me comfortable.
Okay. Well, they'll take care of you, all right? All right. Even though I insulted him, he's still going to go to an old sponsor of ours and have his feet taken care of and make himself more comfortable. All right. You know, the thing about the thing about chronic callers, and, you know, with Steve George, I wish he was here because he'll remember Mr. Bill. Well, maybe he won't. I don't know. But there's always been this unofficial troop of chronic callers. And they have characters, and then, you know, after a while they move on. Mr. Bill was one of them. Blind Mike, who's still around sometimes. The best one of all time was the Black Phantom. Anybody remember the Black Phantom? That was the best caller in the history of radio, the Black Phantom. Joe the Nazi. There's been a lot of them. Copa Rick, who, the Copa was a gay bar in Fort Lauderdale, and Rick was, you know, a patron, so we could, you know, Copa Rick. There's always been Black Randy. There's always been this troop of chronic callers, and it does get recycled from time to time, and he's one of those. And I guess I got a kind of an axe to grind because I hated that guy's calls, Bill. He would call, no matter what was going on, he would call in and he would like bomb shows by screaming out, "It's Mr. Bill." Oh, it was awful. Anyway, back to things that are important, which of course is Donald Trump. So what's going on here with everything is an immediate panic by the mainstream media. The mainstream media, their first reaction to the Twitter files is not to report it. And that's just not working. And it's not working for them because everybody knows about it. In fact, Elon Musk had his Twitter Spaces town hall meeting that had 101,000 people participating in it on Saturday night about the Twitter files. So what the Twitter files have done is not only expose them and everything they've done, etc., and all that, it's vindicated Donald Trump. That everything he said about the media, not just the laptop, was true. Every single thing Donald Trump ever said about any of these things was all 100% the truth. So they got to try to bring him down. So this Kanye visit, which just will not go away, Kanye is just in need of some serious help, was discussed big time over the weekend. So Chuck Todd of Meet the Press, he's a real beaut, Chuck Todd at Meet the Press, he's doing an interview on a local NBC affiliate, and he's talking about what the current situation with Trump is after the Kanye West visit, unannounced to Mar-a-Lago.
Seeing the beginning of the end of Trump. I know it's, there's so many times we've thought that, but I really think we're at the Gary Busey phase of The Apprentice. And it's that he is just exhausting everybody around him. And the fact that he cannot denounce this hateful rhetoric from Kanye West, I think could be the last straw for many. Yeah.
Okay, so that's over the weekend. That's Chuck Todd doing a local interview promoting his lowly rated Meet the Press show. All right, now, he feels that we're at the beginning of the end of Donald Trump. They've been saying that since the Access Hollywood tape, right? This is the beginning of the end of Donald Trump. Their whole thing is no matter what day of the week it is, no matter what year it is, since Trump came down the escalator, they're always working on a scheme that's going to be the end of Donald Trump, and this is just the big one. So what they did yesterday was actually rather pathetic. So I'm not going to go through the whole history of the Kanye West thing, but he showed up with Nick Fuentes, this Holocaust denier, all these things happened, and Trump didn't know who he was. He knew who Kanye was, and then Kanye's had this mental collapse. Oh, the next soundbite is not working on my iPad. That's okay, but I'll tell you what happened. So Chuck Todd, who spent a great portion of Meet the Press telling you that Trump would not denounce anti-Semitism, he wouldn't denounce Nazis, and this is a common theme with those who hate Trump, you don't have to denounce Holocaust deniers or Nazis. It's just a given that everyone denounces any of this stuff, right? And so far as Nick Fuentes coming, Trump didn't know who he was. Kanye's obviously in trouble, showed up unannounced, and the guy got in. I wish it wouldn't have happened. Everyone wishes it wouldn't have happened, but it happened. But he was not socializing on purpose with Holocaust deniers and white supremacists. So what Chuck Todd did was unbelievable. I can't get the clip to play, but I'll just tell you what it is. Maybe I'll play it later if I can get it to pull up. He brought on Netanyahu, Benjamin Netanyahu, Israeli prime minister, and he figures, well, Netanyahu, I'll get him. He's the prime minister of Israel. He's the most prominent Jewish person on the planet because he's the Israeli prime minister. And even Netanyahu would not condemn Trump for this. And Netanyahu told Chuck Todd a whole bunch of things that Donald Trump did that have helped Jews, that have helped Israel. And Chuck Todd was really taken off by this. He's like, I don't understand, you're defending Trump. And he's like, well, he moved the embassy to Jerusalem, the Accords, all these things. And, and of course he said, well, people shouldn't meet with white nationalists and white supremacists and all that. Everybody believes that. Even, Donald Trump would tell you people should not be having lunch with Holocaust-denying white supremacists. But what they did on the Sunday shows was one of the most desperate attempts I have ever seen of NBC News' Meet the Press try to slander Trump with something. All right, now, after the top of the hour, Steve's going to join us, and we got a lot more that we're going to get into in the next hour. You're listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. This year celebrating 45 years on the radio, and just in a couple weeks, that's going to change to 46. It'll probably take me 6 months to get used to saying 46 years instead of 45, but that's right, 45 years on the radio this year, The Steve Kane Show. Our number is toll-free from anywhere, 1-888-GO-KANE-1. 888-465-2631. It's a toll-free call no matter where you are calling us from. All right, so in the next hour, Steve will be joining us. We're going to touch on some more topics, and got some more audio that we're going to play too. And this is really going to be the beginning of one of the biggest weeks of news that we've experienced in years, because the Twitter files came out on Friday. The mainstream media really haven't had too much of an opportunity to process them yet, right? The weekend is like the weekend people. They kind of blew it. Now the big boys are back, and they're going to have to deal with the Twitter files. So we're going to have a lot of revelations about it this week. And Elon Musk said this is just the beginning of what they have coming. So anyway, we'll take our break for the top of the hour, come back with Steve and a whole bunch more. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show. My name's Brian. Our number, 1-888-GO-KANE-1. 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. We'll take that break and be right back. Don't go anywhere. Hey, how's it going? That's okay. This is Vic, the owner of the radio station. Want to say hi, Vic? Got everything on? No, it's cool. Everything's fine. After I figure out the phones.
What do you need to know?
No, I got them now. I got them now, yeah.
Okay. So they're being forwarded.
Yeah.
Dumps there.
Yeah.
They come up here.
Yeah, we got everything going.
Steve is coming up right here.
We're going to find out now.
So you can just put him in queue. You'll be able to hear.
Oh, okay.
So
I could.
He's there.
Yep, he's there. Okay, then.
So what I'm going to hook up today is a talk back. So
oh, cool.
When you hit this button and talk, he'll be able to hear you.
Okay.
And then without going on the air. Right?
Yeah.
And when you want to go on the air, you just punch him up live.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
And so this is your TOC mix.
Yeah, it was a little low.
Yeah, try to keep it up there.
Okay.
And then what you want to do is, we can separate the pods, so this way each cart has its own pod, so you can ride them each. But I would keep it right there.
Okay.
The processing will bring it down.
Okay.
Don't worry about the levels.
Okay.
Right, because your levels are looking at your auxiliary feed right now.
Yeah.
So just leave it.
Okay.
Don't stress out.
Okay.
Headphones are right here.
Yep.
Here's your headphone volume. This is your monitors in your studio.
Price something for every car.
And that's your mic. And you're good to
Okay,
go.
we're good to go.
So obviously, when you come back, you'll have the trailer meter.
Yeah, I gotta fade it
So
down.
You could fade that down. All right.
Sounds good. Not a problem.
All right.
All right, guys. Little. Oh, I didn't hear anything.
I didn't want to make sure it wasn't coming out.
What time we come back?
Another, probably, less than a minute. 3:19.
So I'm guessing I'm going to be in here most of the week.
Well, I mean, looks like it might have to be. Unless I could get this figured out in the next few days.
Well, hopefully they'll get the Boca stations connected to us because
It's going to get confusing for callers.
Steve Kane Show. Steve Kane Show. Hold on. Yeah. Yeah, we got it down.
We're good.
Well, we had the levels down too low, and that was a problem. But I think the levels for everything else are fine, just the levels for this. All right.
Get it off your chest.
All right. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show. Steve, good morning. Oh, wow. No, you're cool. You're cool.
Did you get the message I sent you through Lori?
I did not get any messages from you, Steve. But I haven't checked. Oh, boy, I'm in trouble now.
The only thing that's different on my end is I can hear the brakes, which usually
Oh. He can hear Rich Allen. He just texted me. I got your message. I'll pass it on. I got your message. The message is he can hear Rich Allen in his headphones. That's the message. I guess got it. That's okay. That's okay. We'll get it taken care of, Steve. Well, a lot's happened, and I wanted to talk. I wanted to switch gears a little bit. You know, yesterday, you know, my listen to this. We can talk about whatever you want to talk about, but my daughter has been out in California. And she just came home yesterday afternoon, and she surprised us. We did not know she was coming home, and oh God, no, she's not married. I would have been in shock. I was shocked that she came all the way home from California without telling her parents. But my daughter, she came home, and I didn't know she was coming. She had my mother pick her up at the airport and drive her to the house. And I told my daughter, I said, you know, you might want to think about going back to California. And she says, what are you talking about? You're trying to get rid of me. And I said, no. I said Governor Newsom is going to give black people in California over $200,000 each for reparations, and so you're entitled to at least half that amount since you're biracial. You go back to California, you could get some reparations money. Maybe you could buy a house, put a down payment on a house with that. You know, this story with Gavin Newsom and the slavery reparations. By the way, if you're on hold, stand by. We'll take some calls in just a moment. I just wanted to talk about this for a couple minutes. You and I talked about this on the phone yesterday, and you actually had an angle on this that I had not considered or heard anybody else bring up, which I'll get to in a minute. But just to give people some background, California was admitted to the Union as a free state that did not have slaves in it. A lot of people don't know that. During the Civil War, they were part of the Union, California. So this is not a Democrat state that has a history of slavery like these Democrat, states, or even Florida, which was a Democrat state at the time, had slavery. There were never slaves in the state of California. It was a free state. It was back when they had that, what was it, the Missouri Compromise? Like every time a state came in, they would a slave state would come in, the next one had to be a free state, during that period. So they never had slaves in California as a state. Not speaking about before they were a state. But what you had come up with is the reason they're doing this is there's been such an exodus of people from California that Governor Newsom is talking about slave reparations to try to stop black people from leaving California and attract more people to move to the state in hopes that they'll get reparations, which I thought was an interesting take on it.
I mean, politically, it makes Newsom look like an idiot.
Yeah. 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 I mean, and you can even see driving around Florida. I saw this a lot over the weekend. This is not snowbird period yet in Florida. Snowbirds come after Christmas. I'm seeing more New York plates this time of year than you normally see, and I'm seeing license plates from states that you really don't see all that often, you know, in the state of Florida. I saw one from Wyoming yesterday. I don't know if I've ever seen a Wyoming plate, you know, but people are leaving other states, they're coming to Florida because of this, and I think you're on to something with that. And it's certainly not for elections because he's a Democrat, he's safe, he's only going to be running against other Democrats out there, so it's not something you would do just to you know, try to get votes. Yeah, well, you know, well. Do you think your black kids would go to California to get their reparations money if they start handing it? Oh. Yeah, really? Well, you know, my daughter's talking about she'd like to buy a house, she'd like to buy a condo. I can think of no better way than with Gavin Newsom's reparations money. All right, our number, well, you know, that's true. That's true. Our number is toll free, 1-888-GO-KANE-1. Yeah. What, the Twitter files? Oh, it's huge, Steve. It's huge. It's huge. It's huge. I've done nothing all weekend but read about the Twitter files. It's amazing. You know, I was in this. Elon Musk on Saturday night had the equivalent of a town hall meeting on Twitter. On Twitter Spaces, he had, and it's audio. He was talking and taking questions from people. There were over 101,000 people in this group. And Elon Musk was taking questions from regular people about these Twitter files. And one person said to him, what if we wake up one morning and see a story in the news that you've committed suicide? You know, are you worried that your life's in danger? And Elon Musk said that if there's a story that I committed suicide, it's fake news, I'm not suicidal, and I will not kill myself. And he's actually very well aware that he's taken on some people that are dangerous to him. It was really amazing when that question came out, and when he answered it. You know, this is the thing. This is the thing with the Twitter files. Everything is documented. So they did everything through email, so far as we can tell, just like the Hunter Biden laptop. So what's going to happen? Because the Republicans are already talking about this. I talked about this earlier in the show, and I'll review it. Everyone that's involved in this email correspondence from Twitter and from the Biden camp are going to be called in front of Congress to testify on it. That's one. Those 50 intelligence officials who said that the laptop was Russian misinformation, they're all going to be called to testify. This is going to be so exciting, Steve. I don't think people realize, because the media has been suppressing the story since it came out on Friday. Although Tucker Carlson had a great segment with James Woods on Friday night about it, but the media over the weekend have really discounted the whole story. Yeah, well, I'm not going to discount it. I'm actually obsessed with it, and and every update on it we're going to be talking about on this program, because I think it's without question, this is the biggest media scandal in the history of the American media, because they've been busted covering up and punishing people who speak out of turn, and this is just a beautiful time. All right, you want to take some calls? All right. Mike, is it? Just press that, right? Once. Mm-hmm. Yes. Oh, yeah. Not the Twitter files, but one of the most arrogant people ever to broadcast on radio, Charlemagne de God. Charlemagne de God is very popular in Georgia. And over the weekend, he's been attacking the Democrats all over the place. So Charlemagne the God could help us pull it through for Herschel Walker in Georgia. But that's probably, that's iffy. Yeah. I don't pay too much attention to Charlemagne de God, but he might help us out here. Remember, he's the one who Biden said, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. Remember that? You know? Well, if people would realize that Elon Musk, who released the Twitter files, is the richest African American, that might help us. But people don't really view him as an African American for some reason. But, you know, he is from South Africa. All right, let's take some calls. Our number, 1-888-GO-CANE 1-888-465-2631. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Good morning. I can hear you. That's probably my punishment for Mr. Bill, Steve. That's probably Mr. Bill, since he came back with his sore feet today. I guess we may have to go on a call screening period today. You don't want to relive it. His main problem is me. He has a secondary problem with his feet, but but I'm his main problem. All right, 1-888-GO-CANE-1. That's our number. We'll take our break, and when we get back, we'll take some more calls, and I got some more audio sound bites I want to share with you too, Steve. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show, on the radio since 1977. Our number, 888-GO-CANE-1, 888-465-2631. We'll break and be back right after this.
The Steve Kane Show, telling it like it is, whether you like it.
Let them know that Steve's hearing the bitch. Shouldn't happen, but they're trying to figure out why it's happening.
I'll call him after and talk to him more specifically about what he's hearing.
How should we do the live break for April before? I know usually you call in.
Okay, we probably, because the phone is here, we got to call him. We probably should run a spot and call him. I'll try to call. Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. Play something before so we can get him in. Because I know Rich said he calls him like a minute or two before throwing him on. Charlemagne he's something else, but people listen, my generation especially.
Oh yeah, he's very popular.
Not gonna lie, I've listened to him a few times. Don't agree with him, but I've listened to him. Now hearing you guys with the show since I came on, I've
Steve Kane Show. Okay. See, when I answer the phone, I'm not really hearing people. There you go.
Try it.
Steve Kane Show. No, they're gone now.
They're gone.
Yeah.
Why is that not?
That's why I've been losing the calls. They're a little confused when they're calling.
I think this is on, that's why.
Oh, okay.
I think,
Should still be able to get on the left side.
The last couple people couldn't hear me when I answered the phone.
But that might have been on.
I don't think that should matter. It could be them.
Probably.
I'm sure it's fine. We test it after. We'll find out right now. Steve Kane Show. Yes, hold on. Okay, hold on. Okay, they heard me, so.
What do you think is our best method to get the 845 call in?
I'd mentioned to Mike, maybe we could play a spot and call the guy, but sometimes he's hard to get a hold of. He doesn't always answer on the first ring. So
Hi, this is Keith Singer, Singer Wealth. If you own a retirement,
things will run smoother tomorrow. We'll be fine. And then after we get this figured out, we'll be in there. We'll have to start over.
At least it's identical there. But you have to use the right strategies. To learn about these strategies to reduce taxes on your
Yeah, how did you do it there that you had him immediately come up? I mean,
Rich would come in and call him.
okay.
But sometimes I would do it. I'd play a spot and I'd call him too. Yeah.
I mean, Mike could do that too if you want to just move aside and let him.
Okay. Yeah, we can do that.
Whichever works for you.
All right. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian. Steve, you with us? All right. Yeah. See, I'm in the new building, Steve. You know, It is. I'm not in the new studio. I'm in the old studio in the new building, and let me tell you, I'm not exaggerating. The new studio, you won't get to have any advantage of this. You'll still be in your home studio. But the new studio that I'll be moving into, oh yeah, Steve, this studio, I was talking earlier, it looks like SpaceX and Elon Musk built it. It's like so high tech and so modern. It's like beautiful. It's beautiful. The studio I'm in now, the old studio here is like 1,000 times nicer than what we've been broadcasting out of. But it's still, the new studio is like space age stuff. It's like crazy. You'll come up here one day and I'll show it to you. I'll take a picture and I'll send you a picture. I'll text you a picture. All right, listen, our number's toll free, 1-888-GO-CANE-1. So let me tell you how bad things are getting. So the Hunter Biden laptop story that the Twitter files has revealed, callers on hold, stand by. We'll get to your calls in a bit. To people that get their news, I was talking earlier, from the mainstream news, they're learning about the laptop for the first time. They have been really successful in suppressing the laptop story and everything involved in it to people that get their news from traditional news. So the CBS Sunday show, who's hosted by this very liberal woman, she's interviewing Eric Holder. Eric Holder, who's on this moral high plane, even though he used to represent in his private law practice Al-Qaeda terrorist at Guantanamo Bay. Remember that guy? Yeah, Al-Qaeda cut off someone's head, call Eric Holder. Al-Qaeda crashes planes into buildings and knocks them down, call Eric Holder. You know, no terrorist is too scummy for Eric Holder. But now he's passing judgment on Donald Trump. So on the CBS Sunday show, a question was asked of Eric Holder, and this is the first time I've heard this. Now, a lot of you don't know that he is under investigation, Hunter Biden, for everything that he's done. He's under investigation by the Justice Department. And on the CBS Sunday show, they asked Eric Holder a question I've heard no one else ask about this. Listen to this, Steve.
Sufficient evidence to charge him with tax and gun-related crimes. How would you handle this? A plea deal? Is the Attorney General boxed in to take a hardline position because of working for the president?
Okay, now before we get to Eric Holder, I don't even remember what he says. It may not be with it. But here she's got this liberal CBS reporter. She's detailed two of his crimes, right? His tax cheating and I don't know, a gun charge is pretty serious. He lied on his federal form when he purchased a gun about his past drug use. That's a big deal. You can go to prison, Steve, for that gun crime alone, you know. And they must be pretty worried because she asked Eric Holder, is it time for Hunter to start talking plea deal? Like it's a close case. I mean, should he be talking a plea deal? Let's see what Holder says.
In to take a hardline position because of working for the president?
No, I mean, they left in place the the Trump-appointed U.S. attorney in Delaware to consider the case. You've got career lawyers working on it, career FBI agents. You want to listen to their recommendations and then again, make a determination based on the facts and the law. The defendant should not be treated any more harshly because of who he is related to, should not be given breaks because of who he is or who he is related to. He should be treated as former President Trump, should be treated just like any other American citizen.
Okay. So Eric Holder talks a lot, but he doesn't say too much. But the very fact that she asked in her question, is it plea deal time for Hunter Biden? That's huge. That's coming from CBS News, this isn't outnumbered on Fox, right? This isn't the 5. This is like, that's big.
Answer it, but
Well, I don't expect him to answer it. But all right, let's go to the phones. 1-888-GO-CANE-1. Let's go. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning.
Oh, yes. Liberal Al the John. Good morning. Yeah. Yeah.
we want to waste our time with this.
Yeah, why not? You know, I'm trying to figure out how to use the new board, Steve.
Let's put your FAU degree to work here. You remember what happened in 1922 with the Bruce family having their land seized?
1922? 1922? No, I don't remember that. Steve's a little older than me. He may remember. I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about. But tell people listening what you're talking about.
It was a family that owned a lot of valuable beachfront property. They were entrepreneurs. They were quite successful. And they had their properties stolen from them. And that was the only time it happened in California. There were other cases.
Yeah, okay. Now, this is the claim that a black family, let's just say it's true, right? This black family in 1992 owned all this prime land that would go on to be valuable, had it taken from them, I guess eminent domain circa 1922, right? How does that translate into giving every black person in California over $200,000?
200,000 is all outlandish.
Well, that's what Governor Newsom's talking, more than 200,000.
By the way, Mr. Al, are you in favor of this proposal by Newsom?
Not 20,000. I could see something.
Or do you think it's stupid?
20,000.
Like
20,000.
With a brain, half a brain in their head.
You think he said it's too high. You think 20,000? Put a number on it.
20,000 would be something. That would be a reasonable figure.
Really, reasonable amount.
If they moved out to California, I'm sure they would put something where you have to live there at least a year or two. They would pass a law.
So that's what you're in favor of. So you're in favor of passing a law that would give $200,000 apiece to my two black children.
That's going over the top.
20 that. Wait a second, Al.
Brain idea. So let me plumb the depths of your ignorance or whatever it is. I also have a daughter who is half black. Does she get half of a $200,000 bonus?
I have 3 great nieces. Okay, one of them college age. That's half black. But she'd have to move to California. She lives in Florida.
Okay, that makes sense to you.
But does she get the full amount or only half? Because she's biracial.
No, well, you're biracial. You still have black in you. So I mean,
one drop. The one drop rule. He's got these. I love these Democrats. One drop.
Now, what happens if she gets married? My Jennifer gets married, and she's half black, and she has a child. Let's say her husband is
white
or black. How does that affect the amount of money you want to give her as the governor of, like Newsom is?
Well,
how much
I don't
money?
know where he came up with a figure of 200,000, but I mean that's a little.
Well, that's it. Out of his depraved imagination.
My question is, why are you guys running away from the fact that Donald Trump wants to?
Now you're running away. You're running away. I'll tell you what. I'll let you run away. Just all you have to do is say, "Steve, you got me. I know I look like an idiot. Please let me off the hook here. I give up." And then I'll let you move on to something else. You sure?
Passionate. Yeah, I'm positive. I'm not.
Get off the phone, you jerk!
All right. Okay. All right. That was a little hot, Steve, but we got it. You know, I was a little disappointed. He said it should only be 20,000. It seems like all that suffering of your family is worth more than 20,000, especially in California with their prices. You know. All right. Let's take some more calls. 1-888-GO-CANE-1. You're on the radio. What's your? Oh, no. I think I hung up on everyone. Steve. By the end of the week, I'm running the board like you did, you know, back in the day when you were running the board. I'm about at that level today. That's okay. Or maybe you're shouting just, Got rid of some of those others. But, getting back to this thing with the Twitter files, which I'm completely obsessed with, I'm looking at the clock. We'll take our break. We'll come back and talk more about it because it's huge. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian. Our number, 888-GO-KANE-1, 888-465-2631. We'll be right back after this. Don't go anywhere.
Tired of boring mornings? We serve controversy with your morning coffee.
What happened? I don't think you hung up on them. They hung up when you pressed on
Oh,
them,
at the same
but
time?
The next one lit up right after.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Which
You
one of
did
these
it
is?
well.
This is Steve.
This is Steve. That's the iPad.
Okay.
And then the phone.
Oh, this one's the iPad.
Yeah.
Let's see what else I got here. Steve Kane Show. Hey, hold on.
Like to picking up something like that. That was on.
True oldies traffic check.
I guess lock Al in to pick up the hand phone.
Oh, I got to drop him first.
Yeah. Well, like if you want Al to continue talking while you're getting that second person to hold them, lock him in, click that twice, and then answer the phone to put him on hold, so
Okay.
he doesn't both get on hold, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got it after I saw it. I was like, okay, yeah.
Also, I-95 heading northbound, we're seeing there's usual delays coming from the beach in Boca. Also, on the turnpike heading southbound at Lake Worth Road, another multi-vehicle crash is blocking the right lane there. Southern Boulevard eastbound at Congress Avenue, 2 left lanes blocked by construction. Broward County Commercial Boulevard eastbound after the turnpike, emergency vehicles are blocking the 2 lanes.
What time are we coming back? 32?
Yeah. Whatever break is there, it's not there right now. What's happening?
Accessories at the right price, something for every car lover on your list. And with the money you save, you can get something for yourself too. Happy holidays indeed. ebaymotors.com. Let's ride.
I'd say it is a long break. You're good.
Hi, I'm Megan from Palm Beach Patio Furniture, and we're celebrating the holidays with incredible values on our outdoor patio furniture. Sunset West seating and dining, Hanneman collections, and of course custom designs for all of your backyard spaces. Palm Beach Patio Furniture, where luxurious outdoor spaces are created. Come in today and say hi during our holiday celebration and save a bundle. The newly remodeled Palm Beach Patio Furniture, located in the Seminole Shops Plaza, North Palm Beach, or online at palmbeachpatiofurniture.com.
An honest auto mechanic, you probably don't think they exist, but one does. Eddie at Champagne Automotive Repair in Boca will never do a repair on your vehicle that your vehicle doesn't need. He works on all makes and models, new, old, classic cars, even hybrids. Champagne Automotive Repair is the official mechanic of the Steve Kane Show. Call 561-245-8101. 561-245-8101. And make sure you tell him you heard about him on the Steve Kane Show. Brian Craig here. You've heard me talk about how Dr. Appleton has rid me of knee pain with his laser away pain system. Let me introduce you to Dr. Appleton.
I had a new patient on Saturday, came in with sciatic leg pain. She lifted something wrong on Saturday. She said, can this help me? And I said, sure. And we did the laser on her on Saturday. On Monday, she returned, and she said, thank you, thank you, thank you. The joy of doing this all these years is helping patients, and the lasers just touches amazing.
So where's Steve Kane? Steve Kane has his own studio, but Brian's in there.
Brian, I thought this was, he said he was in the old studio. This looks like the new
Well,
studio.
this is the old studio. That's going to be the new one.
Wasn't he in there or is he out of here?
That's not finished yet.
WWNN Pompano Beach, WIRK HD3 Indiantown. Programming paid for by the Canales Media Group. Broadcasting from the Road Studio. Injured recently? Call the Ropes Law Group, where winning is
Steve Kane 2023 MAGA Cruise is right around the corner. We leave January 28th on the Celebrity Apex at Fort Lauderdale. First stop, San Juan, Puerto Rico. Then Tortola.
His limousine does 30 miles an hour and
Fine dining together every night.
All right, at 9 o'clock, what happens at 9?
So we're having the next show come up for the next two, because we got the 9 o'clock show at 9:30. Ryan's gonna come in and help me for the first day.
Oh, so he'll be here any minute then? They're gonna do it here?
Yeah.
Okay, because I'll have to get out of here real quick.
Yeah, we're ninjas here. At least.
Okay.
I'm sure we're.
Tomorrow, everything will run much smoother.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'll be more comfortable. I know what's going on now.
It's just the first day of dinners. Not dinners, but
Well,
the
it's
new
a whole
stuff.
new. Everything is different.
Yeah, thrown into a whole.
And
Are you retiring soon or already retired and concerned that your 401k or money saved may not be enough or may not even be there when you need it most? Well, you're not alone. Running out of money is the biggest
Hey, we're not off the air.
That's the good thing.
That's all that matters.
Hi, I'm Jupiter Joe Thomas, and we have been doing retirement planning for over 20 years in South Florida. And I specialize in making sure your money is safe, secure, and yes, even guaranteed. Get a copy of my book, Retirement Know-It-All, by going to JupiterJoe.com. That's right, JupiterJoe.com.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All right, welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian. You're listening to the Steve Kane Show. Steve, hello again. You know, I tell you a cool thing. Where I'm at now, I am right down the street from Mar-a-Lago. I can almost see Mar-a-Lago out of the window. Almost. I'm very close. That's right, very close. I'll stop by and say hi on the way home.
Because we have, along with our old audience that's been with us for decades, we have new stations now that that carry the Steve Kane Show. And if you enjoy these discussions of what's going on in politics in America today, especially the stuff with Donald Trump and the future of the country, we do this practically every day. So central for all things Trump.
That is true. Yeah, that is very true. All right, let's go back to the phones. 1-888-GO. Kane 1 is our number. 888-465-2631. Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian and Steve. It's Andrea.
Oh, hey, Andrea.
Hey, Andrea. How are you?
Doing just great. Brian, I like your new studio. It's very swanky.
Well, wait till you see the new one. This is the old studio in the new building. Wait till you see the SpaceX studio next door where I'm going to move into. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Yeah.
For you guys. So I'm calling about this Twitter thing. And to be perfectly honest with you, I'm shocked that people are not in the streets about this. Like, when it first came out, I was literally just stunned. Like, you know, I knew that they were supposed.
Well, what are you talking about? You know, the Twitter files. Elon Musk had 101,000 people in his town hall on Twitter Spaces on Saturday night. It's all over the online media. The television media are not covering it. I mean, they're really not covering it. They're ignoring it. But what they're doing, Andrea, that's awesome. Let them ignore it. They're taking part in becoming even more irrelevant than they already are.
Well, I do agree with that, but I also watch first and foremost, I don't feel a single ounce of sympathy for any of these Twitter employees that are now they're afraid and oh my God, we have to protect them. Nope.
No one's in danger. No one's in danger, but they're not going to get sympathy. But, you know, this is the thing, though, because I was talking about this at the top of the show at 6. These people are not going to go to jail over that. I know a lot. What you're starting to see a lot now are people are saying, okay, well, if no one goes to jail, that means nothing happened, and blah, 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 blah. None of these people are going to go to prison over this. I don't know if they've committed a crime at Twitter. It was not a private company. It was a publicly held company. So there is accountability so far as what they were doing. But I'll tell you this. There's a lot of people that were working in the Biden White House and are working there today that were involved in this. And this is going to cripple the Democrat Party moving forward when all of this comes out. Because the it looks like Steve Scalise is the favorite to be our Speaker of the House now, not McCarthy. I was reading this morning. They are already talking about having massive hearings where every person from Twitter and the Biden camp are called in to testify. those 50 intelligence officials that said it was Russian disinformation are going to be called in to testify, and they're going to have to testify under oath what led to them signing that letter. And you know they didn't examine the materials. They just gave them the letter and they signed it. It's going to be beautiful. No one may go to prison, but they're going to be exposed, and that's going to be huge moving forward.
I heard the clip that you played, and I don't know who the gentleman was that was saying, oh, well, you know, we should look at Hunter Biden just like he should get no stuff.
Oh, that was Eric Holder. That was Eric Holder. He was Obama's attorney general, and he was also an Al-Qaeda lawyer.
This is what should happen. They should, 100%, treat Joe Biden just like they treated Donald Trump. They should impeach him for the border, then they should impeach him for the laptop, that they should spend the next 2 years impeaching.
Well, you know, here's the thing though. The Twitter, we really need to focus in on this in these House hearings. If you have too many things going on, there's no focus. This scandal is the best for us because everything is in writing. These idiots, like Hunter, had everything on the laptop. These idiots have everything in writing, all their correspondence with their names. We know everything that happened. And I was talking earlier, there's already been an update that Katie Hobbs in Arizona was in communication with Twitter during her race against Kari Lake to suppress information and tweets on Twitter. So what we're going to find is that Twitter has been working with Democrats at all levels around the country against Republicans. It's huge.
Katie Hobbs, she was
Well, this is what I'm talking about, okay, Andre? And I'm not saying that what you're saying is wrong and all this stuff. You've got to focus in. You know, if you start getting distracted on these other issues, you lose focus. We have got them red-handed with evidence in their own writing, with their basically. I mean, they typed it, but there's the computer signature from their IP address. We've got them in their own writing, basically confessing all of these things with the Twitter files, so far as suppressing the laptop. That's where you want to focus because that's where we can get them. Well, that's good. That's you don't. Okay, I appreciate. Hey, listen. Thanks for the call, Andrea. All right. Take care. All right, take care. I hope. Yeah. Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning. How are you?
All right. How are you?
I'm doing good. Where do I start? We guys got so many topics flinging around today. You know, to be honest with you, why is it every time? I mean, even on both sides, it's like we don't learn from what happened last time, from what happened.
Yeah.
Sit in the confinements of their fireproof house and decide where it's going to be lit, and nobody wants to put them out anymore. What we're going to keep doing. If Republicans gain power, we're going after Joe. If the Democrats gain power,
No. See, I listen. I've learned, and I'm going to try to help people in this audience learn. I'm not so interested in impeaching because impeachments are never going to lead to removal from office, okay? And there's a lot of things that, the greatest crime Joe Biden committed was the Afghan withdrawal. We were talking about that on Friday's show, and Kamala Harris covered up for him, and that, so there's crime there. But listen, the biggest poison in American society is the mainstream media. It's the biggest poison. And President Trump, when he started calling them the fake news, was the first person to actually call them out. And now with these Twitter files, he's being completely cleared and vindicated, President Trump. And the media is being further exposed as to what they were up to and what they were doing. This is huge. I'm not so concerned about an impeachment. What I'm looking forward to the day when those 50 intelligence officials who are ex-CIA directors are called in front of live congressional hearings in the House explaining how they signed off on that letter saying the laptop was Russian misinformation. The media is going to be forever damaged in this country over this story, and it will be a generation before they start to gain credibility again.
Your semantics, depending on your semantics, the media is either damaged or not already, okay? And also, too, you know, you said about the big poison pill is the media. I believe also, too, mistakes and keep going around and around and around on this friggin' merry-go-round.
Well, you know, this thing with impeachment. Okay, I agree with you. You know, and I said about the merry-go-round of impeachments. That started because since Bill Clinton was impeached in 1998 for supporting perjury, that's what set this in motion. So you know, yeah, right. So, who's a never Trumper, by the way. So, you know, I understand about this ridiculous cycle of impeachment, but I'm very interested in bringing down the media, and I'm very interested in exposing how the Democrat Party has had the media working for them. You know, when I was in that Twitter Spaces town hall with Elon Musk on Saturday night with 101,000 other people. You know, someone asked Elon Musk an interesting question. They said, well, what has the Biden White House been colluding with Twitter on since Inauguration Day? And he says there's a lot more coming on that. So we're going to find, you know, there's going to be so many people exposed. I'm not worried about impeachment. I'm worried about an indictment in the court of public opinion, because that translates into us winning. Real quick, because we got a break.
Real quick, I mean, do you know Elon Musk? Do you think Elon got Twitter because he wanted to give free speech?
Yeah. Yes.
For a political piece in this chess game that we got.
No, because I'll tell you why. It's been reported. I was talking about this earlier. I talked about this earlier, and it has been reported that when Twitter banned Babylon Bee, he decided to buy it. And Elon Musk is like a lot of immigrants who appreciate America and our freedoms more than people that were born and raised here. And he's pretty ticked off about what they've been doing. Listen, we got to run for a break. Great call. Thanks so much. All right? Okay, listen, we'll take our break, and we'll be back with the Gold Report.
The longest running radio show in the state of Florida. The Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
One first.
Oh. A sniffle here and a sneeze there. Your first thought is what? Uh-oh, I'm coming down with something. But did you ever think you might not be sick? You might have an allergy. Find out and have your allergies tested at any lab test now of Coral Springs. Or any lab test now of Boca. Any lab test now of Coral Springs is located at...
All right, now typically we do it inside the break. Do you want to do the rejoin and me do it, or do you want me to go to him and then do the rejoin after? Okay.
954-906-5983. Any lab test now
right out of the spot.
in the Sandalfoot Plaza. That's where the Western Beef is, south of Palmetto and north of Hillsboro. Call them at 561-237-5009. 561-237-5009. They will test for both environmental and food allergies. No appointment is necessary. And make sure you mention you heard about them on the Steve Kane Show.
On the air since 1977. It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All right, welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian. Steve is here, and it's time to check in with William Youngerman from the offices of William Youngerman Incorporated with our first look at gold and the precious metals markets for the week. William Youngerman, how are the metals looking?
Looking good, actually. Last week we saw a nice rise in gold, getting it up over $1,800 before closing down a little bit on Friday, closing out the week at $1797.30 on gold. That was down $5.70 from Thursday's high. Silver closed out the week up 34 cents at $23.09 the ounce. Platinum closed down $28 on Friday at $1,013, and palladium was down $55 on Friday at $1,824. The markets mixed this morning. Gold getting up to 1,810 overnight and trading in a range from $1,793 to $1,810 the ounce. Currently at $1,794.50. That's down $2.80. Silver getting back up, got up to $23.50 overnight and currently at $22.95. That's down 16 cents. Platinum up $12 right now at $1,025, and palladium up $26 at $1,850. Oil is higher and the dollar is lower this morning.
Well, why don't you tell William, the audience, about some of the things you have over there that make great gifts for the holidays?
Certainly, we have a wide range of beautiful gift items in the realm of historical documents, in the form of currency, beautiful banknotes, some which you can pick from the person's hometown possibly, such as the First National Bank of Miami or something like that. You can also pick up nice coins in the 1 ounce format, or the gold, silver, platinum. The jewelry that we have is on wholesale only, so you have, as Steve Kane listeners, have that privilege to buy it and just have to ask to see it, and we can give you some excellent values there.
Yeah, that's right. And when it comes to jewelry at William Youngerman's, you get jewelry far beyond what you would probably normally be able to afford in many instances, because William charges just a little bit more than what the metal prices are for the jewelry. Listen, William Youngerman opens up weekdays at 10 a.m., located in Boca. His address, 150 East Palmetto Park Road, on the first floor of the Bank of America building, just east of US 1 Federal Highway on the south side of Palmetto. You can find him online at williamyoungerman.com or give him a call toll-free, 1-800-327-5010. 1-800-327-5010. All right, William Youngerman, we'll touch base tomorrow.
Okay, have a great day.
All right, take care. All right, we're back. And Steve, you with us? Yes, I am. Yeah, a lot of people, that last caller was spot on, right on the money. A lot of people set these standards, when I say a lot of people, a lot of our MAGA brothers and sisters, set these standards that cannot be achieved, right? Joe Biden's going to be impeached and removed from office. Then we're going to impeach Kamala and remove her. No one's getting removed from office over this. Not at that level, all right? The bar is too high in the Senate, even if someone committed an outright crime that was beyond debate that everyone agreed with, you probably would not be able to remove them from office. So when you set your standards so high, you never win, because you've set yourself up to fail. So and so far as impeachment, they impeached Trump how many times? I've lost track, right? 3? The impeachments got so out of control, they're meaningless now. What we want is, in my opinion, is very specifically focus in on these Twitter files, and what will come out of the Twitter files are all the details from the laptops. And the laptop details all of Joe Biden's crimes. And the Democrats are going to find themselves in a position, because of this Twitter files, that Joe Biden cannot run. That clip I played of Eric Holder and some of the others from the Sunday shows went on to say that they're supporting Joe Biden's reelection. So the Democrat Party, it seems that they've made a decision for Joe Biden to run again and to nominate him again. That's which I predicted. Joe Biden's not going to let Joe walk away from that, right? So that's going to happen, and we are going to have so much information coming out about Joe Biden through these Twitter files. Even in Democrat circles, he's not going to be reelectable. He's not going to be reelectable. First off, it's not just that a lot of people will be exposed to this information about Joe Biden that they didn't know, that they thought was just rumors and innuendo. They're going to find out they've been lied to by Biden and the Democrats about it all these years. There's no way that when this is all over and all exposed and all reported, that the Biden regime and the Democrat Party is not damaged. Steve, this is a scandal 1,000 times greater than Watergate. 1,000 times greater than Watergate. I don't know what they were breaking into the DNC offices for lists of donors. I've heard. I don't know. That's minor compared to what went on here. No. And these hearings on television are going to be incredibly dramatic. Like the Nixon tapes from Watergate, as dramatic as those are. When you have people in their own hand, right, having a written record of everything they did, and they're called in front of a committee, and their emails are read to them in chronological order as to what they did to cover up this scandalous story, that is going to be some of the most dramatic congressional hearings that have ever happened in this country. And the effect of that is going to be so dramatic. This is the beginning of a major change involving media in this country. And there are going to be so many people in media that are forever I mean, Steve, look at these guys, these reporters from the New York Times that won those Pulitzer Prizes on the Russia hoax stories of Trump. Those stories have been... Well, this period, what the media are going to do is try not to report it, and if they do, they're going to downplay it. But next month, we take over the House, and the hearings will start happening. That they're going to have to cover. That they're going to have to report, because they're going to be live hearings on television. They're not going to be able to cover it up. And that's when it'll start happening. You know, January, February, March. Huge. And remember, Trump's running for president. Right? And as his campaign is going, we're going to have these hearings, and a lot of things are going to happen. And the people that are called to testify, a lot of them are going to be very famous people. A lot of you may not have...
All these people that are trying to throw Trump in jail, do you think they're going to let up on...
They're never going to let up on Trump. They're going to... It's going to get worse, because they're going to start to get panicked. See, now, what this has done is completely vindicated him. Everything he accused them of doing to him has now been proven that he was right in telling the truth to people that didn't believe him before. This is huge. Beyond imagination. I've been reading these Twitter files all week, and what Elon Musk did that was amazingly just brilliant was having this liberal reporter from Rolling Stone, he gave the information to and had him break it. And when this guy did it, he did it on Twitter, and he did them in order, the Twitter files, and he numbered each tweet. He started with 1 and went up to 30-something, and it's in chronological order. I read through them on my podcast last night, and it's very detailed and very well sourced and documented with the most accurate of source you can possibly have. Primary sources, the people's own emails. And that's brutal. That's just, it's an open and shut case. Each one of the people involved basically have signed confessions. And I'm telling you, not only are they going to be high-profile people, I think the ringleader of it in the Biden campaign is Jen Psaki, because she went on to be the White House press spokesperson. So she was the spokesperson for the campaign. Jen Psaki's whole job with the Biden campaign was media messaging and all of that, right? So she had to be the front woman, dealing with Twitter to suppress stories and people and content. And did you see James Woods on Tucker Friday night, Steve? Oh, it was brutal. I'm sure they'll rerun clips of this. James Woods was specifically targeted by name by the Biden campaign, and James Woods told Tucker Carlson that he's not only talking about suing Twitter, he's talking about a class action lawsuit against these Twitter people. And with that, there's a lot of discovery, and it'll probably be the largest class action in history because so many people are involved. We're moving into areas I never thought we would be in, you know. And the thing about it, Steve, the reason everything is so well documented is because they never envisioned Elon Musk buying Twitter and releasing all this information. They thought it was going to be, they thought it was going to be confidential forever, that these lunatic liberals at Twitter were never going to release this information. They never thought anybody would ever see it.
That Musk and Trump will ever strengthen their bond.
I don't know. They're working together. They're working together in at least an unofficial capacity. You know, and I hate to use this comparison because the other person's such a terrible person, but Elon Musk is kind of like our George Soros. Right? He's got so much money, no one can have any juice or power against him, and he can do whatever he wants and get away with it. Yeah? And the only thing about the whole story that surprises me is that they let the sale go through. And some of the Twitter executives were in a panic in the last couple of months trying to stop the sale because they were afraid of all these documents being released. So I'm interested to know how they let this go through. But no, it's definitely the beginning of the end for them, and we're going to be celebrating. This is just day one of the celebration. I hope so. I hope so. That's right. That's right. There's no doubt about that. Now, I want to share with everyone, this is a huge announcement from Anne Marie's. Now, listen, Anne Marie's is closed on Mondays, but they're open every other day of the week, right? They'll be open again tomorrow. Listen to this, Steve. I just got this from the sales department this morning. This is huge. If you go to Anne Marie's and spend $100, which is a lot of money, money goes pretty far at Anne Marie's, and that's a lot of food because the portions are so large. If you spend $100 at Anne Marie's, they're going to give you a gift certificate for $20, good for your next visit. So you go spend $100, they're going to give you $20 to come back with in the form of a gift certificate. That's amazing. Now, if you would like to buy a gift certificate as a Christmas gift, listen to this, because we buy two things for people for Christmas. We buy gift certificates and MyPillow products, right? Listen to this, Steve. If you spend $40 on a gift card. You go into Anne Marie's, I got $40, I want to buy a gift card to give as a gift to someone. You can also buy it for yourself, it's a good deal. If you spend $40 on a gift card at Anne Marie's, they're going to give you a gift card worth $50. That's something? So turn $40 into $50. If you buy a gift card at Anne Marie's and spend $80, they're going to give you a $100 gift card. Pretty good deal, isn't it? Sounds like a lot of free food to me, Steve. Now, Anne Marie, these make great Christmas gifts, and again, my family, we're having Christmas dinner at Anne Marie's. Anne Marie's is located in Pompano on the northwest corner of Copens Road and US 1 Federal Highway in the same plaza as the movie theater. Now, remember, it's Monday. They're closed on Monday, but they'll be reopened tomorrow, and this is an incredible offer, Steve, that they're offering our listeners for Christmas. So take advantage of that. We'll be talking about that more throughout the week. All right, guys, so listen, we'll be back here tomorrow. We moved to the corporate HQ, and Steve, I'm broadcasting from the control room, and this is so high-tech and modern compared to where we've been all these years, and it also smells better here, I must tell you. Does it smell better here? It does, yes, it does smell better here. And later in the week, we'll be moving into the new studio that Elon Musk and SpaceX were over here over the weekend constructing. This place is so space-age, Steve. You got to come up here just to look at the studio that I get to talk to you from every day. You're going to get really. You may start driving here when you see how nice the studios are. I'm telling you, it's beautiful. It's a dream studio. But listen, guys, we'll be back tomorrow. Thanks everyone for tuning in, and I think things went better on the first day in the new place than they have on our first day at other places. I must tell you that. But there's only about 12 people here helping me too, Steve. So I got nice modern place, Mar-a-Lago down the street, a dozen helpers. It's just wonderful. Just feed me grapes during the break. It's wonderful here. But listen, everyone, have a great day. We'll be back tomorrow morning. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, the Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977, celebrating 45 years on the radio. We'll be back tomorrow morning. Take care, everyone.
WWNN Pompano Beach, WIRK HD3 Indiantown.
We'll be quick.
Paid for by the Canales Media Group, broadcasting from the Rome Studio.